They just started.
Stream
What's
is live.
up, everybody? Cincinnati here. Welcome to the
Oh, it's
show.
Europe.
Welcome to another video. And we have two BMS bad. You know the rest if you watch UFC. You know, I want to thank everyone for joining us this Friday evening, spending time with us. Man, this is going to be awesome. We got Zach and we have Aaron, Doria, the two race global champions of the world, baby, with us this evening. And the great part about this, you guys are with us pre-race. Now you guys are back with us after the race. I know you got a lot to say. And again, we appreciate what you guys did. You called it. Both of you called it. You said what you're going to go out there and you do what you did, excuse me. And you did it. You brought it home. And Mikey, always a pleasure being here with you, brother, in the trenches. So I ran my mouth enough. If you guys could do one thing, please smash that like button. And whoever wants to take the stage first, tell us how you're feeling. And just give us the scoop of what's going on, guys.
All right, ready? Let's go. Rock, paper, scissors. All right, we gotta go again. Okay, ready? On three. On three. 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper.
I think we got a little delay.
Oh man, they're just throwing up gang signs.
Come on, man. Come on.
All right. I'll go. All right.
Go for it.
All right, let's see. I'm the global winner of the paved race, and Zach here is the global winner of the off-road race.
No, yeah.
I wouldn't go ahead and say that I had so much faith that I was going to win, but I did have so much faith that Zach was going to win the off-road race. Of course, I paid them off to let him win.
Hey, you're on the air.
No, I had to do favors. I had to do favors for them. No, you didn't get paid. All the people that went slower than you, that were better than you, I paid them off.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I hear a lot of people put money on the Russians for both races.
Yep.
So, guys, what was it like? I mean, starting from just like the preparation as far as, the whole trip, getting to the airport, the butterflies, just kind of walk us through that.
Yeah.
Want to go, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
The food. How's the food out there, man?
The food was pretty good. There's
Was
not
it?
a whole lot of time we had to pay for food. They would take us to these big restaurants and they would have these big tables in front of you with the little lazy Susan thing. And they would just bring dish after dish after dish after dish. And it's like, ladies, stop. And she's like, no, there's more food. And it's like, fuck, there's so much food here. Can we get to-go boxes? And everyone's like, no, don't worry about it.
No, it was better because they kept bringing alcohol in.
Oh, dude,
so were you guys all staying in the same telly or what?
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of Chinese whiskey.
Were you guys staying in the same hotel together?
Yeah, same hotel.
Same hotel?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
Now, okay, so what we'll do is we'll just sort of walk it off. I know one of the big things everyone was looking at was the wheel situation. They were supplying the wheels. How was that? Because every racer has their own wheel. It's always dialed in. You know how you like it. So how was it making the adjustment, getting there, and because from what I can see, they were making firmware updates on certain wheels and things like that, if I'm not mistaken. So how did that go and play a big role in how things went down?
So we were told there was going to be a pool of wheels to choose from, and I think we were all under an impression that there was going to be a more vast variety of wheels, but there was only 2 wheels to pick from. I believe it was a 134 volt Blitz, and then if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, it was a 168 volt X-Way to choose from. So those were the 2 options. By default, it makes no sense to race a 134 volt Blitz when you're in competition with a bunch of people with 168 volt. So, but then you're sharing those wheels. So, and then some of those wheels didn't have street tires on them. So if you were going to race the paved race and you have a knobby, you're not going to be competitive.
You're screwed.
So right off the bat, anyone that bought a wheel was at a competitive advantage.
Okay.
So they got to configure it how they wanted it. A lot of us were bringing our own tires from home and having them swapped over. I brought my own pedals, Adam G pedals. I brought my own pads and my own tire because I
Nice.
wanted it to feel just like what I was racing at home. So I chose not to buy a wheel, mainly for financial reasons. I was like, I'll just race what they have. A stock ET Max is what I was racing before. I was competitive on it. And I got there and found out that wasn't an option. So Roger pulled some strings with Mr. Lin and said, hey, man, you know, he thought he was going to be racing an ET Max. He can't race on these other wheels. It's, you know, it's just not going to be competitive. So they were ever so kind to let me use an ET Max.
Nice.
They just
Nice.
ran out
Roger
of the box and handed it to me.
came through in a clutch. Nice.
That's what you won both your races with, huh? The ET Max?
Yep. And then the race before that, Zach won on an ET Max at TEF1.
Wow. Okay.
So
Zach,
3
now
races
how was
in a
it?
row.
Zach, now how was it for you?
I mean, I went in there and I bought a Blitz Pro. It was pretty good. There's a nice guy in the back that charges $25 and he will swap your tire out for you. So that was pretty cool.
All right. Nice.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
That's
25
cheap.
bucks.
Cheap for
Yeah, you
like
can't beat that, dude.
Heck yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
But yeah, Aaron's pretty right. The shared pool was, you know, a mixed match of X-Ways and Blitz Pros with knobby tires or street tire. For my off-road race, I ended up buying one of the shared pool ones because I want to guarantee that I'd have a wheel at the race.
Okay.
And it was a good thing I did because there wasn't a whole lot left over. And I think Aaron actually got screwed out because he didn't have an off-road wheel.
Oh, okay. Now I see. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there wasn't enough wheels for everyone. So there was, they brought a bunch of wheels to both events, the off-road and the paved race. And if you didn't secure a wheel for yourself, someone else you would have to share with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, everyone has a different setup. They run different pedal harnesses, angles. Maybe they adjusted the suspension. They have different pads, you know. So, like, sharing wheels with people was not really going to work either. So, for
dude,
me,
that's
for the off-road
true.
race, I ended up using James Darnell, Zach's father's wheel.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it's crazy how just different pedals, just a different pedal angle can throw you completely off. It feels just like a completely different wheels. I get that. That's crazy. I didn't know.
That's pedals and tires.
But yeah, there's no way you're going to be competitive on a street circuit with a knobby tire. It's just not going to.
no.
Especially
Anyone that thinks they're going to be competitive is not very fast.
Nah. Learned that the hard way.
There used to be people that thought that they were fast on a knobby tire, and they found out that's not accurate.
Until you get on it with people that are fast. Right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna give some quick shout outs to the people that are here. Roger, what's happening? Spartacus is here. Seth,
Roger,
Will Brady, E-Rod Life. We got Electric Units.
Yeah.
Dale. Euro was in the house, my EUC journey. Ricardo, thank you, everybody. Rico, EUC Lifer, what is happening? We got Bones in the house.
Eli's here. Let's go, Eli.
Moment in the house. This is great, man. We got One Wheel, Two Skis. What's happening, bro? And I think I mentioned Mr. Will Brady is in the house. Guys, again, this is great. You know, this is how we do it here in the EUC community. Just pull it together, find out what's going on. You know how it goes down. We all come around. So guys, did the flight affect you guys as far as like the time zone and the jet lag and all those types of things? Did it play a part, or you just had to fight through it though, right?
No, it sucked. The whole film.
straight honest.
It took a while to get it used to, you know.
Yeah, because they're like a day ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken, right?
They're a day ahead of you, and it's like you got to get with the
2 hours
program. If everyone's eating, you're eating, even if you're not hungry, because you'll be hungry later. And
I got a question for both of you. So, before you went to the race, right? When we had our last interview, right? And you guys, I know you had to have been a little bit nervous going out there, right? So, when you went out there and you guys got on those tracks and you're racing against these Chinese riders and different riders, were you like, yeah, we're kicking ass, or were you like, oh man, these guys are very competitive, or did you guys feel like you had an edge on them?
It was an open fields. Everyone, there was a lot of guys there that had, potential, and they performed, pretty well. Especially on practice day, there was,
but not as good as their Americans, right?
No, they're yeah.
I mean, we're all a little disappointed that none of the Spaniards came.
I was wondering that none of them showed up. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't want to speak too soon, but you don't know what your competition's really like until you're alongside them, right? So we see videos on the internet, and we all have our own judgments of how good some of these riders are. I needed to see it for myself firsthand, and there was a few Chinese riders that were competitive, some Russian riders that were competitive. I don't want to leave anyone out, but there was certain people from certain countries that actually made me a little nervous, but no one as much as the Americans. I knew that our competition, like, we had very good riders. I mean, right off the bat, I was terrified to show.
Dude, we have to speak on that, dude. Man. We have to speak on that. Whenever you're ready, because that was crazy. That was a crazy moment, man, right there. Some of that was nuts. I'm sorry, but
I was gonna say, let's rewind it a little bit. So we never answered kind of a question about the entire kind of like process with like travel and whatnot, right? So like that was a whole ordeal. Some of us more than others. I started my journey by linking up with Marty Backey. I got an Uber to his house, and then his wife brought both of us to the airport. So that's how my journey started. And then Brian Dillard and Marty were both going on the same airplane. So I met up with them a little bit prior to their flight. They had a different flight than me. And then after our flight, we met up again in Hong Kong airport. And we were ever so gracious to get a kind of like an Uber that was set up for us to bring us all the way to our hotel. And then our hotel accommodation was fantastic. I heard it was only costing like maybe $40 US a night, but to me, it was a really nice hotel. Nice walk-in glass shower and
sweet,
all automatic retracting curtains and lights, and you could speak to the like AI assistant. Have them go ahead, say it, Zach.
Ni hao shashi.
Ni hao
wakes her up.
So you say hi to it, and then you tell it what you want it to do, and it was kind of weird. Like, you actually had to put your key card in a little slot when you open the door, otherwise the power would go out. So like for the first 10 minutes that I was there, I'm like, how do I get the lights to stay on? It like shut off everything.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so the accommodations were fantastic, and we had transportation everywhere we needed to go. Didn't cost us anything for transport. The go had paid for I think just about everything, including the hotel. So great accommodations. Food in the hotel in the morning was good. Breakfast. And we definitely had a really nice setup.
Good stuff, man. So Bago took care of you guys.
They took care of us big time.
That's awesome. Because even I work in the hospitality industry, and to pull something off like that for that many people, that's tough. That's tough. And to have most everyone satisfied too, it's hard.
Shout out to Albert Kua for putting in so much work.
Yeah, Albert.
He helped organize so much stuff. 2 cells, 1 pack. Check him out if you don't already know. He, big shout out to him. He made a lot of this very possible, and he did it as a favor because he's a good guy.
Look at that.
He's a great guy.
Thank you, Albert.
He did a great job.
Albert's the man, dude. Hey, did you guys catch him and Roger, man? Where were you guys at? Were you guys over here already when Roger and them had the party at the restaurant, and they were just what the hell were they saying, like kame or name or what was it? What did they say right before you take a shot? Because they were getting Roger all nice and warm, dude. They kept bringing them bottles out. I was like, dude, these guys are partying hard, dude.
Dude, that was every night. They go
way.
Go hard. I don't know how Mr. Lid makes it to work the next morning.
Oh my god, dude.
Usually like 2 or 3 bottles of deep by the end of the night.
Yeah, dude. I kept seeing the lady bring bottles and bottles, and I'm like, when is she gonna stop, dude? Like, oh my god,
And
dude.
those were those little potent bottles of liquor too, them little with the red cap on it. Those things are doing some damage.
Yeah, they call
Yeah,
it
they're getting down.
Baijiu or
Jeez,
Baijiu.
That's crazy.
Chinese whiskey.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh,
that thing
there's
ain't
no
no potent.
Chinese fireball.
Oh, no.
Is it
That's what
strong?
it was,
What's the proof
fireball.
on that stuff, man? Like 30 something proof? It's not like no Mexican tequila, right?
No, tequila hits different. This, like, it fucks you up.
Oh my
Oh, man.
goodness.
Yeah.
Hold on one second, guys. We had a few more people come in.
So do either of you guys speak any Chinese?
Other than, like, 2 words.
Ni hao. Ni hao liang.
Say hi and thank you. And I got one other word. It's newbie, which means like awesome.
Mm.
Oh, that's how you said. Look at that. Okay. Hey, so we have
all I got.
Abigail, Doria. What's going
That's
on?
my sister.
Hello,
Hey,
sister,
Abigail.
welcome.
Support.
Black Cobra
Sweet.
jumped in. What's happening?
Black Cobra in the house with Erwin. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Watch some of
Yes,
his
sir.
videos.
I didn't wear my Will I Frawley shirt this time. I did last time. I had to switch it up. Right, UC. Let's go.
That's sweet.
Awesome. Ruben is in the house too. Ruben White, what's going on?
Let's go, Ruben.
And one other thing too, guys, when you see a question, we can just pop it up here. So I don't want to fall behind.
Yeah.
If
No
you guys
worries.
see something, yeah, because I get a little excited here.
52%. What?
I know, right?
Oh my goodness.
So now, Zach, this is one thing that I noticed. I'm watching the off-road race, right? I watched it a couple times. Then I finally got like a good view of the track. That thing was no joke, man. It looked like very loose. So like certain areas, it just seemed like loose, man.
Oh, it was loose.
I mean, how did that affect your style of racing? What adjustments did you make? I mean, both of you too, because you both raced on the track. But what do you think gave you the advantage over the other people in a sense?
I'm very, very used to that kind of sandy like dirt. So I made sure to keep dropping my PSI down to where I probably had it about 25 PSI.
Look at that.
This more surface area. Because there
Okay.
wasn't anything to like really mess up my rim. So it was
Okay.
it was pretty golden. But just made sure not to lean the wheel over too far. Just kept it more vertical. So I kept more linear paths.
Gotcha. Yeah, because there were just certain parts. I was like, I mean, you just see people just doing a chubby checker. I mean, their wheels are just twisting, man. So it was like one little mistake, and that was it. That was good stuff on there, man.
Yeah, it was a fun race. It had a little bit of everything, and gosh, in like the beginning, we're also like condensed in with each other. That people were just like skipping the tabletop, skipping the berms, just going straight for the flagpoles.
Gotcha.
We're like, oh, this is great. This is great.
What about the start? What did you think about how they started the race? How they had the EUCs lined up and you had to run? How did that feel?
I mean, that was pretty cool. I'm pretty used to running, so it was, I had some fun.
Okay.
But some people had more, unfortunate starts, which kind of sucked because not all wheels start on at the same speed.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
But everyone kind of had like their own little trick of either putting the wheel closer to them or further out, so they get more of an advantageous line leaving the pit.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of figured just go for a more linear path, and as soon as I get the wheel up, just start riding it like a scooter.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So they had a real interesting start. Not only that, but like how you got your positioning, how you were able to pick where you wanted your wheel was completely random. So we were picking like ping pong balls or whatever that had numbers on them. So you'd reach your hand into the box, and that told you what number you were. So it didn't matter how you lined up either. You just grab a number, and then based off that number, that was the order in which you got to choose where you put your wheel for your start. So there was no advantage to placing better during qualifying or your heats.
Okay.
It was completely random. So it was a completely fair start
Nice.
for everyone.
Nice.
The only thing, like Zach was saying, so some of the wheels don't always want to turn right on. So some people thought it'd be better if they turned the wheel off completely and then they turn it on and get on it. A lot of us, we put it in like a kill spin button, or we'll just lay it over on its side. Everyone had their own way of doing it. And for some people, it worked out really well. My first heat, it worked out perfect. I got on my wheel and I was first out the gate, and then I was just having trouble with traction because it was so loose gravel there.
Yeah,
my second heat, I was the last to get out the gate. My wheel would not balance.
Oh no.
So,
but did it sit too long, or it just was like luck of the draw?
I think luck of the draw. I mean, some people think like that you need to like let a wheel stay upright for a couple seconds before it balances. I got lucky. My first heat, it balanced immediately. I put my foot on, I was gone way before anyone else. But my second heat, I'm sitting there. I'm like, come on, balance. I'm putting my foot on it. Won't balance. And probably like 8 seconds went by, maybe 10 seconds. Everyone was gone. Wow. So and I've seen that happen to a few other people. So,
and
so why do you guys do this? So why is there a reason you guys do that? I mean, because is it that much difference in the voltage, the current, and all that? If you have it on, I mean, couldn't you just have it on, or do you have to have it off?
Yeah, it's turned on. No. So everyone has their own way of doing it. So a lot of us just put like the anti-stick button so that the wheel's on, and as soon as you upright it, it would be ready to go. That's what most people did.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't want your wheel to be turned off all the way. So most people aren't doing that. Most people had it in like kind of like a standby mode, and then it's just ready to go once you lift it up. But they didn't always like balance right away.
Yeah, that's true too. Even when you're riding your wheel, just usually sometimes that happens. You pick it up, you have to seesaw it before before it turns on.
That's what happened to some people. So it was really a matter of how you wanted to do it. There was no rule in place. It was just put your wheel wherever you want. You could put it on its side, put it on the back. Kickstands. Some of us didn't have kickstands. I think Zach removed his. So there was maybe some struggles because like the kickstand, you don't need it for racing. But we've never done a race before. At least I haven't. That our wheels were, somewhere else, and we had to run over to get our wheels. So, if you do that ahead of time, maybe you wouldn't take off the kickstand, right? But as you can see, it didn't affect Zach in the slightest.
No, not at all.
It just got you, huh? Yeah. You can't win them all, Aaron. You can't win them all, Aaron.
Well, that's what I said. That's, I already paid them to let Zach win. I felt bad for the
guy. You're a good guy. You're a good friend, man.
I do my best, Aaron.
You guys are the best, man.
So what do you think gave you the edge that helped you win this race, Aaron?
Tell him.
Did you pay those guys?
I'm sorry, Aaron. There's no ET Max for you. I'll go get my dad, Daddy Roger to get one.
I did bring knee
Roger
pads.
helped them out.
I used them. Yeah, I used the knee pads. So let me elaborate a little further. So.
Oh, was it the leg?
Just Roger opening his mouth to Mr. Lin. And those that aren't in the know, Mr. Lin, he's the owner of Bagode, Kebe Lin. So he was ever so gracious and very kind with all of us the whole time we were there. But yeah, he was kind of like, if you need something, say something. And I was kind of shy. I was like, dude, it was first day. I just arrived there, and I'm like, this is the pool of wheels to choose from. I'm like, I can't be competitive. Now, granted, I was told originally that the X-Ways were 134 volt. So I already had it in my head that I can't be competitive. And then people later told me that the X-Ways were 168, but the Blitzes were 134. So technically I could have competed on the X-Way, but still shared wheel. Would I have been able to do the mods that I did? I wouldn't have been able to put my pedals on, which aren't like 100% crucial, but I'm used to my pedals, right?
The Adam G pedals are cool, man.
Yeah, I like my Adam Gs. So it's kind of like, you wanted to be as comfortable as you could. And a lot of these guys weren't racing on Blitz Pros either, Zach included. So for the paved race, he was riding a Blitz Pro. he doesn't race on that. That was a new wheel to him. So he still had to get comfortable with that. So I got a whole story here that's really funny. And the wheel that I raced on prior that I won at ABS with was Roger's ET Max. And someone had crashed that wheel during the Roger tour. So Roger just took all the bent and broken parts off of it, and it was stripped down. It didn't have the upper handles or any of the metal bits, none of the lights. And that's how I raced it. I liked it. And I wanted it to feel exactly the same because that's what I was comfortable with. So after I got this brand new wheel, I brought it to my hotel room and I stripped it to nothing. And I put the tire on, and this is where it gets funny, right? So this is a really embarrassing thing, but I messed up. I made a simple mistake. I had never worked on one of these wheels that the power buttons are underneath, right? So like all my wheels, you know, I've worked on a Master, I've worked on the EX30, Commander Pro, all of them, the buttons are on the top. So I took the handles off. Now I want to turn the wheel around because I'm working to get the tire off. And I go to lift up the wheel, and when I do it, I accidentally press the power button without any motor bolts in the motor. Yeah, and I got lucky; I didn't hurt myself, but I fried the motherboard on the spot.
Oh man!
Brand new wheel.
Dude.
On the beginning of practice day, like I woke up at like 5 a.m. and started working on the wheel.
Sucks.
So ended up getting an Uber to, well, we call them DDs, but but I got an Uber to the shop. Had the engineers work on my wheel. They put on a new motherboard, but in the process, they're like, "Where's all the parts at? Like, why does the wheel look like this?" And I tried to explain, but like through translation, they didn't understand. So they're like, "We'll put the parts on." I'm like, "No, don't do that. Like, I took all that effort this morning at making the wheel the way I wanted it."
Did they put it back on?
They did. They did. And then we needed the wheel, right? So it was practice day. I think 2 days before the actual race event or something. And I needed the wheel. Then we're at the practice and the wheel's not there. And a couple hours goes by and I'm like, I need my wheel. So someone told me to reach out to them in the chat, the Begode chat, and say, "Hey, where's the wheel? Is it still coming?" And eventually they were like, "Oh yeah, it'll be there." And several hours later, it finally got there.
Oh, dude.
So until then, I was practicing on a Blitz 134 volt. And I found out really quick what happens when you are used to 168 volt and then you go on a 134. And I dipped it so freaking hard on a practice. I had my pedals tilted all the way forward at like 55, and I'm leaning all the way back like this, trying to save it. And I thought for sure I was going down on the pavement, and it held that for like 2 full seconds where it's like tilted forward.
That's crazy. I didn't think it would be that noticeable. The 134.
It's huge. It's huge.
That's crazy.
My qualifying time was like 7 seconds slower than my race time, partially because I had someone blocking me that was on 168 volt. And every time I'd close in on the corner on them, they would out accelerate me. So I could never get past them during my qualifying.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I was always wondering that, man. Is it okay? That's crazy. All right. So now we know.
I have a tiny bit more of that story I gotta say.
Yeah.
There's a long story of a whole lot of shit that was happening that just was frustrating. all because I fucked up, right?
That's why
so the
we're
wheel
here,
finally gets there. I had no time to practice on my wheel. Or almost no time. I get there, I do one lap with it, it overheats, and the pedals tilt back so far after the beginning of the second lap that I started scraping the metal inner fender on the ground.
Wow.
Oh shit!
Okay, wow.
I have it on video. I'll have to release it later, but it's dragging because my feet were like, it was like an airplane taking off. So then the engineers tried to fix it. Long story short, I didn't get to ride it again that day. And then on race day, it still was having issues, and they're working on it. Now it's qualifying time on race day, and I'm rushing to get my wheel, but they're like, "We're working on it. 10 more minutes," or they said 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they're telling me that they're going to disqualify me from the whole race because I'm not there to do my qualifying time.
Seriously?
Because my wheel wasn't ready. So I ended up going out and qualifying on a 134 volt Blitz. And thank you so much to Albert once again because he was kept telling the people they were going to disqualify me. He goes, just wait. His wheel's being worked on. Just wait. He was ever so kind to hold them off long enough because they were 100% like, I'm holding up the entire event because my wheel was ready. Yeah. So I ended up getting the 134 volt blitz and ran like a 107 time when my lap times on the ET Max were 100s.
100. Okay, I was about to say 59. Yeah,
that's
pretty different.
So this was all because I screwed up. I made that simple mistake of frying the motherboard.
It happens, man. I know. I've fried a board or two.
That's crazy.
That's why I hate wrenching on wheels, dude. I did that before. Zach, any exciting stories like that? As far as like you're qualifying
I had
and
a similar experience.
All right, here we go.
But not as cool. So I was new to the Blitz Pro. I was told this is the latest and greatest, the best thing since sliced bread. It's going to outperform the ET Max. So I'm like, awesome. And I'm thinking that until I get to the track. And this thing will want to dip at like 55 miles an hour and will stay there. Like the nose will dip down forward to make you think you're about to cut out, but you're not cutting out. Because when I'm told it's the new motor they put in, and the new motor is not performing up to spec.
Wow.
So, well, fuck. You know, there's 5 of us there that are like, this is bullshit. Like, we're keeping it cool. Like, what do you guys have to suggest? I'm like, a new software. We'll develop a new software to, make it better for you guys.
Okay.
We're like, okay, cool. And the next day they give us, next day is race day. So on the morning of race day, we get an experimental firmware to install on the
shit.
And as soon as we do it, it bricks our fucking wheels.
What?
Oh,
like they're stuck in update mode. Like you can't turn it on or anything.
Oh, dude, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, it was a huge pain trying to figure out is it me? Is it the app? Like, and it's like, no, it's the actual update. It's screwing up the wheel. And so all like the Begode staff and like the engineers were like, okay, get the wheels together. They get in like a big pile, and then like, they're all talking to headquarters, and they come out with a patch for that update, like within 15 to 20 minutes. And in that time, there's chaos. There's people freaking out, and the English to Chinese isn't very good. So it's just like you were playing a bad game of like telephone or grapevine. Like, what's going on? My wheel's not working.
Wow. Yeah, that language barrier could be.
They got it resolved, and it didn't fix the dipping with the Blitz. I think they did fix the PWM display, which was kind of cool, but irrelevant with their problem. And yeah, it was very interesting racing on that wheel. I like it, but I think they made the mistake with that motor they put in.
Okay.
So they decided at the end of the event that they're going to be shipping our Blitz Pros to us with a ET Max motor.
Oh, look at that.
They're like, okay, this motor is bad. We're going to put this one in. We know it works.
Okay.
So,
So would that be something that you'd feel comfortable on too, Aaron, because it has the ET Max motor in it?
Yeah, so the ET Max has a C36 tile motor. So it just, I guess, has a little more power. It also consumes more power, but who cares? It's a race, right?
What it is,
but,
yeah.
I guess they had regular C36s in the Blitz, and I guess maybe there was not quite as much power. Zach experienced it. Brian experienced it a lot of times. He kept dipping throughout. Who else? Morgan. Okay. Yeah. I heard about his dip. So yeah, there were several people that were having serious issues while pushing the limits of the Blitz Pro. And I only dipped once with the ET Max, and that was only, I didn't have any time to practice with it, right? So I only dipped once on the final race, and I was pushing the hardest that I had pushed the wheel the whole time. And I would say we kind of talked about this, right? And a lot of people kind of gave me grief, but I may have had a very slight competitive advantage in terms of power over the Blitz Pros. But I also weigh more than everybody.
Yeah.
By a lot. And then the Blitz Pros are made to be more stable. And the ET Maxes have issues with wobbles, and they're also harder to wring the power out of. Like, you have to lean excessively hard, both forward for acceleration and braking, to try and slow or speed up the wheel. So while people could say I may have a slight power advantage, it took a lot more effort to get the wheel to perform the way it did. So I'd say it was a pretty even playing field.
Okay. No, I can understand. Yeah, you mean you had to push it harder to get it out.
Exactly.
Yeah, but hey, now, Aaron, now, because you're over 200 pounds, right? You're like 205, 210, whatever, I think. I forgot what you said.
Exactly that, yeah.
Yeah. So now, do you feel like you proved a point? Like, because everybody for a long time always said, you got to be a skinny guy, you know, like Brian, like Show, like Zach, you know, these skinny guys are the guys that are going to win, man. And now you're a 200-pound plus guy, and you're the world champ. Yeah. So how do you feel about that, dude?
It goes both ways. So I constantly get people say that it's easier to torque the wheel because of my weight. I agree. It is most likely, it would make sense logically that it's easier to torque the wheel because I don't have to shift my weight nearly as far forward or back to be able to get the same amount of power out of it. Same with taking turns, right? So a lot of guys, they squat down on the wheel and they lean out with their knee. And maybe I don't have to do that to the same effect, but I also have to compensate for my own weight, right? So I got more weight that I'm shifting around. I think it would be better if I was lighter. Let's just say that. I think that you can learn the skill. Oh, my light went out. I think you can learn the skill to get the more lean out of the wheel. But ultimately, the wheel also has to carry you, right? So the heavier you are, technically, the slower the wheel is going to be, especially like top end.
Yeah. I was saying that before. I mean, if you get two skilled riders, you know, you have the same skill, and one weighs less, the person that weighs less eventually is going to out accelerate the other person eventually. I mean, that's just physics.
Well, that's on a straight shot, Sensei. You know what I mean? But if you got curves, man, you know, that skinny guy, he's going to take those curves, man, might be able to take those curves a little better than the bigger guy.
Well, it depends, again, on the I mean, they're both at the same skill level. I mean, they're gonna be running through the turns pretty much fairly even.
Well, hey, you know who I'd like to see you do a little race, and I think she kind of called him out too. I just seen her video. Dawn's calling out Aaron.
Really?
And then she talked about his legs and his strong legs, I think, and she mentioned your gluteus maximus or whatever.
Is this real or are you just making this up?
No, I'm not making this shit up. Look up her last video. She put it up 12 hours ago. She put it. Yeah, dude. Okay. Yeah. She said you might get mad.
That's
no, I'm not mad. So she has the advantage on the weight that she can probably hit a higher top speed than me. I mean, that's just, once again, the wheel has to carry that weight. But, I mean, yeah, I could torque a wheel easier than she can. I'm almost double her weight.
You can lay the power down quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the wheel still has to carry me, right? So a real good case in point, there are two riders that had incredible starts, one at this event and one at TEF1 and AVS. Their names are Show Scott and Douglas Marshall, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to at all say it was not their skill that made it possible, but they were both on X-Ways, and the X-Ways have incredible low-end torque. I didn't know this until I rode one. I rode one for the off-road race, and holy crap, you don't even have to really lean. You just think where you want to go, and the wheel's like, let's go. And it has incredible power. Now, they still have incredible starts. I've seen Douglas at several race events absolutely like rocket, like a Tesla launch control, you know what I mean? Like he just takes off. He's very good. Show had a very controversial start to the last race.
Is that when he's on the right side and he just
they kind of did him a real disservice by placing him where they did for the starting grid. I think he was even going to be placed back further, but I think Albert argued him into like getting pushed up closer to the front of the pack, and I believe that's all because he lost his transponder during his last race against Zach when he crashed. His transponder started falling off his leg. They had taped it to our thigh, and I guess from him sliding and crashing, it fell off. So they couldn't get, I guess, a good time for him. So they didn't give him a good position. So that was the first controversial part about it. Then we were told specifically how we were allowed to start. We're allowed to do a little bit of rolling forward and backwards, like as long. So like any other start, you have to have a foot down, right? But we didn't have to do that. We just needed to stay behind our start line, and you could have both feet up if you wanted to idle back and forth, but you could only do it a few feet. Now I've heard some controversial things there where both Joe and Zach here rolled a little bit or went past the start lines. I heard about this, so there was definitely some discrepancies and things that technically could have penalized them, but they didn't penalize. So anyway, his start, he was smart. Show, he put both feet on and he was ready to go. So while everyone else is still trying to get a foot up to start moving, he already has both feet on and he's good to go. And he shot out the hole really fast and got up to second place right off of the beginning start. Very impressive. Partly the will and partly his incredible skill. I think both played a real part there.
Wow. Yeah, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
Did you guys think that transponder thing was kind of dumb, dude, being taped on your leg? Don't you guys think they should have clipped it? Like that was goofy because you're moving your legs, right? When you're riding your wheel. So, like, why would you put it on your legs? That makes no sense.
For accuracy.
They could have taped it on my appendage. That would have been better.
Yeah. I don't know why they put it on the leg. That was kind of crazy there.
I don't know.
This is a question too. Zach, I'll ask you first, and then Eric can zip in on it. Do you guys think that the way you race the wheels opened the eyes of Begode, like the development team, as far as how you guys push the snot out them freaking things, dude?
Oh yeah, they are really excited over the racing, and they're really excited to meet us. And I don't know, like Begode has heart and soul. You know, like you got to see it to believe it. Like they really care. They really want to push the limits. They, you know, come to us and say, what do you want in a wheel? What do you enjoy? Like, what can we do for you? Like, which, you know, we don't really
get awesome.
That kind of treatment from any sort of, you know, sports manufacturer.
Right.
So like it's pretty cool to see them, you know, especially putting on the events. Like they're all very like ecstatic. They're happy, like putting up the signs and the flags and all the little things that go into a race. Like everyone doing their job is doing it to the best of their ability. Like we had people at a charging tent who would take our wheel and plug them in and charge them and make sure they're perfect for you. You know, like do it in a very efficient process. There is people at the whole point of taping it to our legs is so the transponder has better visibility when you're passing through, because those things are very finicky. They're asking you like, is this okay? Is this too tight? Like, no, it's it's really fine, and they gotta rip it off and put it on some other guy after our heat anyway. So like,
I thought everyone had one.
No, not everyone had one.
Oh, I see. Okay, that was
no. And Show should have went back and picked a transponder and kept going.
That was my mistake. I thought everyone, you get there, they give you your transponder, and that's like your sign. I didn't know that. Okay,
that's other race events. This one was a little different. I guess they didn't have enough to share with like every single person. So whenever you go up for your heat, they tape it on you. And then when you're done, they take it off and it goes on to the next person. Okay. So you said about if maybe they took some of our input or something for racers. So one of the interesting things, Mr. Lin said that he didn't want to see his ET Max already like dying off, right? Because like they're always making a new wheel. The ET Max was going to be the fastest wheel, and he was a little upset that the Blitz Pro maybe was gonna, cast a shadow on the ET Max. And then, of course, 3 races in a row, the ET Max was the hottest wheel out and proved itself. And I told him some of my own creative input. I just told him these handles that are on the fronts of the wheels need to go, especially the Blitz Pro. The handle that shows the display and allows you to lift up the wheel, no good. It's all the racers are saying they hit it with their knees, they hit it with their thigh, whatever. It's a problem when you're turning and when you're accelerating. And I told them from like next race wheels, ditch it. Like we don't want a handle there. It's not needed for racing. And he seemed pretty open to that. But also one thing that right away he's implementing is putting the ET Max motor on the Blitz Pros, because all the racers that raced Blitz Pro said this motor's inferior. It's not as powerful. We don't care about power draw. We're racing. We want the most power that we can get. And they agreed and said that all of our Blitz Pros that we paid for are going to have that motor. So definitely open to hearing it from the racers themselves and willing to do stuff, which is why we love Begode. Fast wheels.
Fast wheels. Now, after the race, you're watching all the different videos. You get the clips on YouTube, then IG and all this stuff. And it was like, there were no Leaper Kim wheels there. That whole like seesaw back and forth. You guys race. So what are your aspects? What are your thoughts on that, dude?
Who cares? Begode wanted to host a race. They hosted a race.
Thank you.
Paid for our hotel. They paid for our food. They paid for our transport. They paid for everything.
That's the way I looked at it.
Leaper Kim could do the same thing. I hear there's only 9 employees in a little shoebox factory. So I hope they can do it. Let's see it.
Yeah. Well, think of auto racing. They have races where it's all Chevys. You know what I mean? Or Toyota will just have all Toyota. So to me, it made sense.
People that argued that are silly. Like, this was literally the Begode race event. Zach said it. They literally did all that accommodation, spent all that money to have us there, and like rightfully so that we're going to not only use their wheels, but this is kind of like advertising for them, right? Having the fastest racers come. Anyone that had a problem with racing Begode, I understand. Like, you want to race what you're used to and what you're capable with, but those Begode wheels are every bit as capable as Leaper Kim, if not more capable, right? So, and if you're a good racer, you can race on just about anything, I think.
Exactly. If you are a great racer, you should be able to put on any wheel, and you should be able to.
So it was a lame excuse.
Yeah.
And no one should be upset. Like I said, this was literally them hosting the event. They paid for all that stuff. We're so thankful that they were able to do that, and they're willing to do that for us. Our only cost was our flight there.
Yeah.
Our flight there and back, and anything else that you wanted that was extra. If you want to go out and eat at night on your own accord, okay. And then the food was cheap and everything. So, still, once again, thank you so much for Begode. And even if
tell them about the massage parlors.
Say it again.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
Everything's cheaper in China.
The
massage parlor was open until 3 a.m. and we all went there until they closed.
Getting some deals. Okay.
Hey, so what? So when sorry, Sensei, when you guys were out there, right? And did you guys mix in lingo? Or, in the afternoon when you guys got off after racing and all that, did you guys get with other racers that you never met? I know you knew the American guys, but did you guys kick it with some Russian guys, some of the other guys? Did you guys have fun out there? What kind of fun crazy stuff you guys get into?
We kept the colors over here and the whites over here.
Yeah.
No, there was still a language barrier, right? So, there was a couple of people I had heard of or knew of. One of those was Ilya. from Russia, and really talented guy, really talented racer. He's also an opera singer. If you guys didn't see that, you guys need to check that out.
Yeah, he is.
For us, which was incredible. There was a huge language barrier there. He didn't know English at all. So his friends would translate for us. And even some of them, their English wasn't the greatest. So, I mean, English was the dominating language of our time there as far as like the racers and everything as a whole. But yeah, there were still language barriers. But it was neat. It was cool seeing some of these people that we had seen on the internet and finally seeing them perform and kick their asses.
Hell yeah!
You guys did, man.
You guys winning brought the gold, man. You guys went and brought the gold.
Awesome. Guys, let's take a question real quick. We're going to take this question because we had touched on this real quick. It says, so there were riders, basically knobbies and street tires, and what percentage of the riders were on knobby or on a track? I guess we're talking about the circuit, not the off-road. Either one.
It seemed like a lot. There might have been a few that got stuck with a knobby tire or weren't the greatest racer, but yeah, if you knew better, you weren't using knobby there. And then maybe same with the paved race or off-road race. I think there was a few people on street tires, but not so many.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, that would suck being on a street tire, not off-road.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people brought their own tires for the off-road race too. Case in point, your dad brought Shinko 241. A lot of people Shinko 244 or 241, just a better off-road tire than the stock CST or Kenda.
Yeah. I had I have a 6.2, the Kenda 262. I think. Yeah, and it's sort of good for in between, but if you're going off-road, the other tires are better. They're better. The 241 or the 244 are better. In my opinion, anyway, and I raced. It's a better tire. So let's see.
Yeah, we neglected the comments. I've been talking.
I've been looking. They're been pretty good.
Yeah, they're having their own conversation. Let them be. We're here to talk to us 4 people.
That's right, man. That's right. It's about you guys today, man.
It's about
you guys talk about whatever you want, man.
It's about the fans.
No, because it's always good to hear what you have to say, because it's one thing to see it on the video, but I know behind the scenes there's a lot more going on,
Yeah.
And
so what's the next big race, man, for you guys?
Oh yeah,
Eastgate Con, March 20 something.
Where's this at?
Las Vegas.
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay.
The biggest.
When is that coming up?
Board. It's coming up in March 20. I want to say 4th or 6th. March 26th.
Is it off road and circuit or just circuit?
No, it's circuit.
Maybe I'll go, man.
Yeah. So it's all for e-skateboards and electric longboards and skateboards. They race, and then they've been the first year. Well, is it the first year? I don't know. They've been kind of off and on with letting EUCs come in. But last year they didn't, but this year they're letting us back into it, so it's pretty awesome. And they got a bigger venue, which is gonna be a lot cooler. Track to participate on.
Oh, they didn't let them race last year? I thought they did.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
They're like, it's Eastgate Con. We're like, yeah, that makes sense. But then they're like, there's a lot of you, and a lot of you want to pay to be here, so we'll bring them in, which probably should. There's not a whole lot of e-skaters. There's not a whole lot of EUCers. There's not a whole lot of one-wheelers. So it's just,
put it all together.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, but we're the fucking cool ones. That's what it really matters.
Are we?
That's right, man. You know what I hate is when people are like, hey, man, you write that one-wheel thing? I'm like, fucking one-wheel sucks, man. Thing, what does it go up 30 miles per hour? I mean, like, I write over 50, that's like my cruising speed. Like a one wheel, that's like a joke, man. To me, you know what I mean? I know people like those things, but I'm a EUC guy hard, dude. That's all I really care about, EUCs, man.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, a lot of the off-road events actually are one-wheel events, and they're allowing EUCs to race there as well.
Yeah, you do see
that.
I
think Zach sees that a lot. West Coast, there's a lot of one-wheel, mostly events, and then like now that's trickling into EUC. They do that also
Oh,
on the
good.
East Coast. There's one that's, I think maybe it's called Oak City Shred Fest. I think, I don't know. It's in North
Shred
Carolina.
Fest. North. Yep.
Yeah.
Shred
No,
Fest
they-
does that.
They love us. They're like, you guys are crazy, which is why we want you here so we can watch you do the craziness.
Well, it's because we're intriguing, bro.
Yeah.
See, they're starting with that, and they're going to end up being on EUC eventually. And I've noticed that on a lot of guys. They start with that one wheel, they get a taste of our shit, and they're like, they don't even use the one wheel anymore, dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting more statements, like in the questions. This is Seth talking about the looseness of the track, the off-road track.
Oh yeah, I guess
The bulk majority of the track wasn't that loose, but the start and finish was all gravel.
Mhm.
And if you went off track, it was pretty loose. Like one of the nice things about the off-road track is that there were lots of options on which route you want to take. You could take the ramp, you could, hop over the creek, you can take the berm, you could just go completely off-road, not part of the track at all. And as long as you were within those flags, you were, still on the track. So it gave you, the skilled rider, the option to decide which route you want to take.
Okay.
That's
Zach,
pretty cool.
Something.
Yeah, we got a little bit of background noise coming.
Oh yeah, my dogs running around upstairs.
Hey, Zach, how many did your dad? Is he the only one that went with you to China?
Yeah, he's the only one that went with me. My mom backed out.
You Darnells are deep, dude. I'm starting to see, dude. Like your uncle's in it too, right?
Oh, yeah, he's obsessed.
That's good though.
We're all
Yeah.
obsessed.
That's a good
The
thing.
Darnell team, dude.
That's it, man. That is freaking awesome, dude.
Not too many people have father-son racing EUCs.
That's
I know,
memories,
dude.
man.
You got
That's awesome.
Liam and Ruben White,
Mhm.
right? But who else? Not too many.
Dude, that had to be, since you said that, dude, and I hope Ruben's still on, this had to be one of the most epic times for me as far as riding EUC. I was doing a Broadway bomb, right? New York City, and I'm coming down, and we had maybe about 2 miles left of the race or something like that. There he is.
Hey,
What's up, man?
Handsome guy.
What's going on,
what's
guys?
up?
I figure this is a good time to come in.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Perfect time.
So I know
Oh,
you got
yeah.
some good
Look at that
stuff.
handsome
How do you feel about your son, man, winning first place, man?
Yeah.
Super proud.
Nice.
I mean, he's
Hell
been
yeah.
working so hard at it. I mean, he deserves it. He won every single road race that existed this year in North America.
Except that one.
Which one?
The one that mattered.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah.
Can't win them all, Zach, but you'll get them.
But he had like the best lap time after sliding out the first attempt. But it is what it is, right? Every race is
Every race is different, man.
no guarantees.
Oh, that yo, man. I was like, wait a second. Let's see someone else.
dude,
We got the squad.
They're deep,
You come
dude.
to North Cal,
Bro, what's happening, man?
you come to North Cal, you can ride with us.
Oh, dude, I'm trying to set that up, man. Like I said, we'll see. I'm working on some stuff. Like I said, I will definitely let y'all know. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Hopefully I come out a better rider, because I do need a little bit of tweaking, come out there and get some new skills. But man, it's cool, like watching you guys in a different terrain and completely different out here in the cold right now,
We got wheels.
I have your dad there.
Awesome.
I'm missing out on my dad. Where's Roger at?
Yeah, where's your brother?
Where's Daddy Roger, man?
Roger's at
Where's Daddy
home.
Roger.
We got an Aaron puppet. Roger, come to the internet.
Roger could be here in 12 minutes if he hurries.
Another
You
question.
say his name.
Is there
If you say his name
anything-
3 times, he'll show up.
Like Beetlejuice?
Oh,
Roger
Roger
Hajjali.
Candy, man. Is there anything that you guys would change to better the event? Not like
Yeah,
trying to
maybe.
critique it, but if anything, any change that you would think would make it even better?
I didn't hear that. Make what better?
Well, yeah, the big race, the big old race. Is there anything that you guys would change just to make it better, or you would just leave it the exact same? Anything you would like to see added to it?
I think the timing over the holidays probably wasn't good for a lot of people. I mean,
Okay.
we kind of
Yeah,
worked
the
it out
Christmas
with
thing.
his sister and his mom, and had an early Christmas here, and you know, they kind of did their thing and we did ours. So
Gotcha.
I get how that probably wasn't possible for everyone. Getting in and out of China isn't the easiest, mainland China. Buying wheels was, you know, nice. And they, you know, I mean, they gave us good deals, but the fact that you have to buy a wheel is also something to consider.
Right.
Otherwise, like Aaron was saying, you're at the mercy of a pool of wheels to use. And not that there's anything wrong with them, they just may not have always been there for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
can't modify them and not everything you guys were saying. So, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, it was a Bagode race. You guys were spot on. I mean, if you wanted to have one that was open to everyone and all their wheels, I mean, I suppose that's, you know, that would make everybody happier.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I think as far as what Extreme Bowl and Bagode put on for us.
Yeah, I mean, anybody, I mean, I've put together small events and it is no joke. So putting something on that mass of a scale and then have it go, you know, I mean, it got a lot of great feedback on it. I mean, you can't argue that. You can't argue that. They did a phenomenal job. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
like
on the
everyone had a
outside looking
pit crew.
in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We do have a question. Aaron, this is for you. It says, hey, Aaron, do you think you would have won that race if you were on an X-Way 168 volts?
So, honestly, never rode an X-Way other than like for a few seconds in a parking lot until James let me use his for the off-road race. I love the low-end torque of it. I feel like I could have had an absolutely incredible start with it. Now, there were earlier on, there was talk that the wheel wasn't that fast, top speed-wise, right? And then they released a firmware to make it faster. I don't know what it was capable of. I think Show was dipping it even during the paved race, but I had assumed that I could have still competed on it and it would have been enough power, but I don't know. Maybe it was top end limited. I also heard people having issues with wobbles with it. So I think I could have still done very well with it, but I can't say that I would have won. I would have needed some time with it to really be sure if I could be competitive.
Right.
But it seemed like I'll tell you what, Show was not far behind me. His lap times were very similar to mine. I think at the end of the race, I was only like a second and a half quicker across the line than he was. Like, he put up a really good fight with an X-Way. So, you know, I definitely think it's obviously a contender.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's also like what, half your weight, dude? I mean,
Yeah, he
so
weighs like 140 pounds probably, and I'm a lot heavier.
He's a teeny guy, you know what I mean? You're a big dude, so it's that wheel, you know, that ET Max can carry you easy compared to that X-Way, you know.
I think on a track though, a lot of it's who can accelerate the quickest and who can stop the quickest.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because it's all about carrying your speed through the corners so that you can accelerate out as fast and as you can and get it to the beep limits. And we're all hitting the beep limits about the same speeds. But you know, that extra 1 or 2 miles per hour that somebody's willing to push it is what makes the difference between.
It does.
Anyone
It doesn't seem like it, but it does, man.
Yeah, anyone that was pushing that 1 minute barrier, there was a gap between those guys and then like me and a bunch of other people, basically. And you know, that was the difference is, you know, who's willing to push it that fast, right? So having the weight to be able to push forward and drop back. That's why a lot of the lankier people, and including Aaron, I mean, you're heavy, but you're also tall, and you know you can push that weight ahead of the wheel and get it to really utilize the power.
Get that
Well,
leverage.
I wanna flip the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would have everyone else done on an ET Max?
Whoa.
How would who have done? You?
Everyone else, right? Everyone that was on a X-Way or Blitz Pro. Now
It
we
would have
know
made a
Zach.
It would have made a fun race.
Yes. So
I think things would have happened that would have been worth recording.
That's saying it lightly.
Zach was
man.
trying to like kamikaze bomb people. Like he was
Oh,
he
yeah.
was suicide bomber. It was not
Zach's
good.
pretty comfortable on
He
it.
tried to keep people out. Yeah. Well, like okay, so for instance, smaller, lighter people, I don't think would have done even close to as good. Like okay, case in point, Show. I don't think Show would have been competitive on an ET Max.
Oh hell no!
When I say competitive,
He's too
I mean
small.
not as
Damn
close
thing
to
weighs almost what he weighs.
Yeah. So
No, I actually have a side-by-side video. We had Show and Zach, and they went back and forth on an ET Max versus a modified Master versus whatever Show was
It
Mm-hmm.
was
racing.
an EX30.
EX30.
And Brian had an EX30.
No, Show was on an EX30.
I thought it was Brian's EX30, but whatever.
Brian doesn't have an EX30.
He did
Anyway,
a year ago, but yeah.
We had several different wheels, and the ET Max was by far the slowest accelerating. Now, maybe firmware updates have fixed that since then, but at the time, it was night and day, and they went back and forth because it's like, oh, it's the rider. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was the wheel.
That wheel's really hard to get the power out of.
Yeah.
You got to push it.
I
I
like it for a cruising wheel. I mean, it's fun and for the most part stable. I swapped tires for Tough One and had issues wobbling with it and need to get rid of that tire, and hopefully it goes away and I like the wheel again. But with the stock tire, it was actually pretty good. It was like the only Begode stock tire that I've ever liked.
What that you like? Because a lot of people
Dale's
first thing they do
here.
is get rid of the stock tires. You know, so
Yeah, the tire makes a huge difference, right? So
It does.
Tef 1, I don't know. Well, first off, Zach, what tire did you have for Tef 1?
An IRC tire, 90/90 profile.
Okay.
90/90,
So IRCs
okay.
have a really curved profile, but still at 90/90.
We've tried them all.
Yeah. I was on an 80/90 Pilot Street 2. Same thing. I'd put on all the rest of the wheels. And that worked out really well for me. Other people want a 90/90 on it. I tried Turbo. He had an ET Max. He let me use it for Tef 1 for the final race since I got a flat tire. And he had a 90/90 on, but I think it was a Pilot Street 2. I'm not sure, but it wobbled a lot and it was hard to pull the wheel down. So it was very fatiguing trying to get it to turn. The 80/90 that I put on mine actually felt really good. Same one that's on Rogers, and I'm able to turn it very well. So, you know, it's kind of just a matter of personal preference, really. Like everyone has their own thing that they like, and what works for them.
That sucks too, man.
I think it's like shoes, man.
When you have a tire and you're trying to turn, and that darn thing wants to push you back to center, that sucks, man. That sucks so bad. It's like you're fighting the wheel the whole freaking time, and it's not fun.
How many laps, right? So you're just fatigued out trying to fight the wheel.
That's horrible.
So here's an interesting question. Someone said, "Are we going to talk about the X-Way crash in Alameda Wobbles?" I think they're referring to the F-22 crash, correct?
Where? Yeah, let me see. Can we
crash.
bring that question up?
Are they talking about Maribel and the other guy?
And
yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Zavala, yeah.
I guess Kevin was on an F-22,
Hard to see how that was caused.
They just went.
I think you just get a wobble, and you know you stay leaned into it, and it can happen really quick where you just wobble out. Happened to Mario Chacon last year at Amped. Came off the starting line, wobbled out. So,
shit!
You know when you're playing that much pressure
he's
forward,
using a Master, right?
He was using an EX30 at Amped last year. Last year, as in 2023, not 2024.
Yeah, because I know he's on that Master V4, and that's what I ride, and that thing wobbles. It wobbles like crazy. You got to be ready for it.
He tamed the beast, and even then, he wasn't able to tame it at TEF 1, you know? But he was also racing skateboard and then back to EUC, so the dude's legs were cooked.
Oh, yeah.
Master's a wobble machine. If you're not ready for it, like, it'll take you out quick.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Wait, and
Yeah,
I'll tell you one thing though with that crash, because Maribel, she was on the GT Pro? Was that the one she was on? I think the Extreme Bolt.
They made she made a whole video about the crash, I believe.
That wheel held up well. The F22 had some damage, but that wheel it just had a couple little scratches on it, man. It was pick up and go. So it's a durable wheel.
Is the F22 dead before it even started?
Ah, man.
Is King Song gonna sink?
I hope not, dude. They can't.
They
can't afford that.
They need to find riders to promote their wheels. That's what they need.
There you go. They need to make a wheel that's worth promoting.
Exactly.
Oh no, shots.
Fighting words. Oh man.
Hey guys, we should be rooting for every brand to be successful, so that there's more choices out there and more competition.
More competition.
That's the thing that's going to drive innovation and more, better, faster, safer wheels for us in the future.
Well, maybe if they reached out to the riders and, you know,
you to say shit like that. I don't
let
know.
the guys,
I'm done.
get their
I'm
hands
done being dad. See you guys.
He's just being a dad, dude.
Price to make
Don't leave us.
toys.
Stay.
Where's he going?
Don't go anywhere.
No.
James, come back. Come back.
Fuck King Song. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I don't know, man. I think they probably need to reach out and get the wheels into more hands and let the riders experience
yeah.
it, you know?
No, I think that, and I think they should have just stayed out the big game, and they should have just kept the S22 and stayed there, and because this F22, it's a year, dude. It took a year for them to start releasing it, and like Bigot released how many wheels while they released one, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, King Song has been not doing so hot, right? So, like, I was really excited. I like smaller wheels, like not for racing purposes, but just for general commuting. I think it's a lot of fun, smaller wheels. Yeah, commuting, just doing like slow group rides. Like, I'm the type of guy, I don't always want to go fast. I actually enjoy going slow. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. I feel safer going slow. I can take in the sights more and like experience more, rather than focusing so heavily on like, don't crash, or am I going to apex this turn right? Am I going the right speed? You know, dodging potholes, dodging cars, right? So I like a lot of the smaller wheels for that reason. I just think that they're more fun. And King Song came out with a couple of wheels last year that, well, 2023 anyway, that most people said weren't any good, but I mean, it was an attempt, right? But they weren't meant to be fast wheels. It was the S16, an S16 Pro, and then the S19. And I tried the S19. I liked it. It kind of reminded me of an S22, just not as capable, and it had speakers, and they sounded great. And like, if they just keep fine tuning that, I think that they could have a really good product on their hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then they're like, let's just make the highest voltage, you know, race wheel that's going to be super heavy, almost like a Master Pro. And then they think it's going to be competitive, you know? And then that whole waiting too long to release is just not good.
Yeah, that was bad.
So I'm not trying to give them a hard time. Like, I'm happy that they're still making an attempt, but maybe kind of like that expression, stay in your lane. You know, maybe stick to what you're good at, which was all the slow wheels. And to this day, every day I have two King Song wheels, two older King Songs that I love. I ride them all the time. I tell people all the time they're my favorite wheels to ride. I don't go fast on them, but I like them. And they made really good wheels 5+ years ago. So hopefully they're not down and out. But, you know, they got to learn what they're best at and maybe stick to what they're best at.
No, I actually like the 18XL, dude, that they made.
That's legendary.
The 18XL is like a cruising wheel, you know. You
16X.
spark one up, you're riding, drinking a beer. You don't even got to think about what you're doing. You know what I mean? You got your LEDs going. People can see you half a mile away.
Music.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
there's more recreational riders than racers.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. You know,
Well,
everyone,
EUC's a niche, and then you got the racing within EUC. You know, our little like circle of racers does not like, you know, it's such a small amount. It really doesn't. It's not that big. So, and we understand that. You know, we love racing as a hobby, but there's so many more people that just want to race, or they just want to ride to commute, or they just want to ride for fun, just to get out. You know, and I think
Get away from that wife. That's what it is. You don't see anyone's wives or girlfriends on these things. That's the real.
my wife rides.
We need more lady riders.
Stay away
like,
from your
and
family.
not riding downstairs with something.
Yeah, my
Anyway,
wife rides. She's just not
yeah.
she don't like being on camera. But I'll see if I can
You
get
should
on,
bring the camera to her.
Oh my goodness.
Babe, these are my fans.
Yeah. Speaking of fans, I'm gonna get my
love
girlfriend.
Great.
Dude, I think out of all my videos, she popped up in like 3 of them. I'm in there. I'm like, yeah, you're in there. I'm sorry. I'm not taking it out. Yeah, but she likes to ride.
Yep.
So, Zach.
Yeah.
What was your number one highlight as far as if you had to the race, everything? What was your takeaway, man? What was your
most memorable?
Yeah, your most memorable
the
moment.
karaoke. The karaoke was the best.
Oh,
yeah.
You get down on the karaoke?
Oh yeah, everyone got down. Even like we set the bar so low that like, you know, the most insecure person was singing.
Dang it.
Even Aaron.
He was even singing.
Aaron came out of his shell. He sang a
Did
few
he?
songs. He did.
Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
that's a good song, actually.
We had to bust out the Poker Face songs. That's what really popped everyone's cherry. There were some unforgettable nights, I gotta say, and I wish you guys were there to experience them. But
they're gonna do it next year, right? Again,
there are embarrassing photos and videos that are gonna be released very soon.
Oh shit!
Someone's gonna be getting some free wheels, or getting some money in a yellow envelope to be quiet.
Some people are gonna get canceled.
No.
I hopefully that is not a thing.
Some footage. There's some footage that should be released.
That is hilarious, guys. I fell behind again.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys brought back the gold, man. You guys are
America. West Coast.
You guys are the ones, man.
Yeah, you guys went out there and nailed it.
So, hey, this March race you're going, Zach? Are you going to, Aaron?
I will most likely be there. Yeah.
You better go.
Yeah, I need to
keep me posted, Zach.
Watch him crash.
Keep me posted, man. I'll go. I'll go because I gotta hit races up this year already. I lost my mom last year and I had a lot of financial shit going on, and so I didn't want to race last year. But this year I'm ready, dude. I've fucking been going crazy on that Master V4. So
let it hang out, dude.
Yeah, let's go have some fun.
You're gonna have a great time.
So there's we'll respond to some comments, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to rip through now.
If you guys see anything, yeah, you click on it, right?
Yeah, just click it and it'll pop it up.
It's not working for me, so for some reason.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. Ricardo said, do you think the Panther will be any good for anything other than long street cruises? Well, we all tried the Panther, and it was like a prototype. It wasn't a finished model, but it felt really good. It felt a lot more snappy and capable at low speed than a Master Pro. So I don't know. I'd want to race it, but it feels like a good alternative to a Master Pro while still having lots of speed and range. So F-22 looks fat. Agreed.
And yeah, it looks wide, doesn't it?
I mean, I like it thick. You know what I'm saying? So,
Fucking Aaron, dude.
I mean,
Whoa.
Thick like
more
a
comfortable.
banana.
I love water beds. Just kidding. BBW, what up?
Goodness. You guys are funny.
What else we got? Ricardo also says for smaller wheels, Nosfet is about to release the new Arrow, which looks promising for a last mile wheel. They said that the weight's going to be like the target weight was going to be 25 kilograms, so like whatever that is, 55 pounds or something like that,
Yeah,
roughly.
5.
Like
Competing with that
like,
Falcon.
yeah. If
the
that's
T4.
accurate, then by like 100%, that looks like a really good last mile wheel, like within reason. Because I mean, what's last mile to you, right? Because last mile, I'd go with something smaller and lighter that doesn't even have suspension. But for something that's like a few extra last miles, and you know you got some rough terrain, you know, I think that looks very promising if they can keep the weight down. But if it's going to be like 65, 70 plus pounds, like why not just go a little bit more? You know, you can get T4, you can get Master, you know, you can get Patent. There's a lot of other options, Extreme, that are still not so much heavier, that would probably have more power.
Yeah. I was
That's
thinking
what we
that.
were talking about.
Yeah, dude. I was
Also,
thinking
what about
same
the
thing.
trolley handle? Like, is that going to be
It's
any
got
good?
one.
Because that matters
It's
to me.
got one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this is exciting. It's a new company out. I mean, I know at least for the Apex, they're using LeaperKim motherboard, motor, like all that stuff, batteries. So you're basically getting a LeaperKim. You know, it's like just in a different body, right? But like with more suspension travel. So like that's exciting. So just seeing like a new company emerging, hopefully they'll be successful and they'll make some really good stuff. Because I mean, I've been saying for a while, I wish LeaperKim would come out with a small, lightweight, like more travel, last mile friendly wheel. So they haven't. So Nosfet has. I'm excited for it, but we'll see.
It was gone. What did you guys now, Aaron? I don't know if Zach, you wrote it. The V9. I think they changed the name of it. That Emotion V9.
Yes.
I
So
wrote it.
What is,
yeah.
that looked like a fun little poppy wheel, man. When you guys were, Law, and Brian.
It was Brian and Law, right? Brian and Law.
Man.
Yeah,
Were you there too, Aaron, with them?
Vivi was there.
What you guys think of that wheel?
Want to go, Zach?
You know, it's a great beginner wheel with awesome suspension, mediocre speakers. It's got some cool lights to it. You know, it's for the price. It is what it is. You know, a good intermediate wheel.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like a nice skill wheel.
I mean,
84
it feels
volt?
very well balanced. Yeah, 84 volt.
Okay.
It's very well balanced, so it's really easy to do like spins and tricks on it. The suspension feels really good. It's adjustable, but we only had it adjusted like it's a air shock, so we had a lower amount of psi in it, and we didn't tinker with it, so it could feel a lot better, I'm sure. Power wise, I mean, we're used to really powerful, torquey wheels, so I feel like it's lacking quite a bit in the power department, but it doesn't feel bad, right? So this is a wheel that you can ride padless and get away with it, like unless you want to jump, right? But in its stock configuration, it felt really good. It felt really solid. Trolley handle's nice. It's kind of like the same as like a V12.
Yeah.
Good headlight. The speakers, like he said, they're decent. It has this option where you can link up other InMotion wheels that have speakers, like newer wheels, and you can have them all playing in sync. So like you can have a whole field of people with InMotion wheels playing music, like great for a group ride. Nice. It's like 50, 55 pounds. I like it. I don't love it. I think that for the newcomer or for the person that just wants to chill and commute, the last mile wheel, I think it's going to be an absolute game changer, because the only other thing in this same category is the Falcon, which is really good, but that's a little more rough. It doesn't seem as consumer friendly, and it doesn't have speakers, right? So actually, fun fact, Roger's going to be doing a video on those two wheels soon to compare them. And
the Falcon
maybe
versus the V9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, right off the bat, everyone that's rode both knows that the Falcon's just more powerful.
All right.
I got a question.
Falcon Pro coming out too, right? They have a Falcon Pro coming out as well, I believe.
I just heard that. I don't know.
Yeah,
any
they do.
details.
They do have it coming out. But all right. So the V11, right? The V11, this new, what is it? V9 or whatever it is. All right. So this new in motion wheel, what's so much better than the V11? I mean, they weigh about the same amount. All it's got is what, the LED and the speakers. But would you choose the V11 if you could, if it wasn't about the speakers or the LEDs? What do you think's better performing, the V11 or this new little wheel that they just popped out?
Want to go, Zach?
I mean, they're on two different tiers. The V11, you know, you're going to have a little bit more. You have a bigger battery, of course, and you have much more suspension travel. The E9 is, you know, it's.
Well, the weight's almost the same, isn't it? What's the V11, like 60 pounds or something like that?
The V11, I think, is 60. I believe it's 60 pounds. V11 wide.
The V11's heavier. It has a higher top speed. It has double the battery capacity. But suspension feels better on the V9. But also there's less. I think there's less travel, but it's also the pedals are lower. So, like, if you were going to off-road it, the V11, right? That would be better. If you want more top speed or more power, V11. If you want a more refined product that is, and you're not interested in going so fast or off-road, you want good, decent sounding speakers. And they didn't give us a price point yet, but they said it was going to be under 2,000 USD. If it could be cheaper than the V11, I would personally go with the V9. That's just my personal take. Okay. Because of like the purpose, right? If I wanted to go faster, then yeah, maybe I'd get a V11. But to be honest, for all that, I'd get like a T4 Pro.
Exactly.
Yeah, T4. I keep saying it. T4 Pro is underrated, man. People sleep on that freaking wheel, dude. They sleep on that thing, man.
I mean, it's different wheels for different people for different purposes, right? So, I mean, I just think the V9 looks like a really consumer-friendly product. You know, a lot of the other wheels are very intimidating, right? Like the edges on some of these wheels, Begode doesn't do a great job on fit and finish, whereas in motion, their wheels look very polished, at least in recent time. You know, so and you know, if you looked, just a question for everyone that like this, just a random try and think like you don't know wheels at all, right? You go on Amazon, you see a Begode wheel, and then you see an Emotion wheel. What do you think you would pick just off of the aesthetic? Like, what would be more friendly?
Emotion wheel. Yeah.
So, different things for different people. I mean, most of us that rode the V9 already prefer the Falcon. They think it's that much better in terms of power and the suspension. If you have the heavier springs, it feels really good. That's an area where maybe pumping up the V9 air suspension might maybe feel better. But I wouldn't want to commute on the Falcon over the V9. I'd rather have the V9 personally, but that's just me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Me, for commuting, I like the V12. I mean, it's a little heavier, but you get that. You don't have to ride fast all the damn time, like you said, but that V12 has 8 speakers, man.
Well, I remember you saying, I didn't realize it had 8 speakers. For some reason,
yeah, it has 2 in each. It has 2 on each side, on each corner, dude. And I think the V12 has really good speakers, actually. It sounds pretty damn good, man.
Have you heard the S19, Kingsong S19?
I heard that's even better. I haven't heard it. I want it.
Loudest speakers on the wheel, and it sounds really good. A lot of bass.
I think they all should come with that, dude. I mean, the amount of money. I could see racing because of the weight, but I just think, dude, it just costs so much money. They ought to throw all the damn speakers that they could put in there. Throw some chrome rims too, man.
I mean, some people don't like it, right? They think that their JBL is better than the wheel speaker, and a lot of times it is. But now you've got to carry that extra thing, right? Maybe you just want to run a couple miles away. You don't want to carry a backpack with a heavy speaker in it.
Exactly.
You know? Or people strap them to the wheel, but like now it's an opportunity for it to get broken or someone to steal it. Like having it built in, I think, is really nice. But to each their own. A lot of people don't care about flashy licensed speakers.
Yeah. My thing about like riding around with big, help me out here, Bluetooth speakers. Dude, if you go down, oh my goodness, and that thing smack, hit you in the ribs or something, that would suck. I always think about that too, because sometimes I'll just leave my speaker. I'm like, in case I go down, I don't want to be falling on top of that freaking thing, dude. That's gonna, nah, seriously, dude, that's gonna be for one effed up day, man. You're gonna have some broken ribs, bad. Yeah, E-Ride Light says it, man. Doesn't matter what you ride as long as you ride. And that's a good way to look at it.
Yep. That's what I've always said.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got a V10, a V12. Shit, I still got my 9x1E Plus just sitting there, dude.
Hey,
I don't ride it.
It's old as hell.
But I still got it.
I was, I think it was last week, over on 8th Avenue, heading down to the bus station in New York, man. Someone was on a high-speed MSP.
Oh,
Yeah, see?
There you go.
What?
There you
Oh,
go.
Those are good wheels.
Old school wheel. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I couldn't make out who the rider was, though.
Yeah, go through all those comments quick. We got a whole lot of people talking, which is really good, and I'm making sure that they never get heard.
Okay.
Man.
Let's see.
I think it's time for another Red Bull. Let's go.
There we go.
Oh,
Is that
there you
berry
go.
flavor? Pink berry?
is it coconut flavor?
berry.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
What is that? Where do they find coconut berries in the wild? I don't know.
I
Red
don't
Bull,
know. I
man.
think
They just know how to make
They're
it.
rare, Aaron. They're
Jersey
rare. You
berry.
got to find them all.
All right, guys. We're gonna start ripping through questions. So we got this one here. I'm trying to figure out if I should pick up the Sherman L or wait for the Panther.
Panther.
Honest opinion, Sherman L has been out for a while. Polished product, lots of power, a lot of range, great suspension. We don't have a real good. We can't say much on the Panther because it wasn't even a finished wheel that we were on. Like the suspension wasn't right. I was bottoming out, just standing on it, going like this. So
Okay.
they said, don't listen, like don't take it too seriously because it wasn't ready. It feels really good.
Mhm.
I think what's it supposed to be 4,400 watt hours. So like if
That's
you
a big
want that
wheel.
extra little bit of range, I'd go Panther. If that little extra range doesn't matter to you, I'm gonna be honest, Sherman out all the way, and you can charge it 20 amps. So
What are your thoughts, Zach? Panther, Sherman L?
Exactly what Aaron said. The Sherman L is like a well-rounded wheel. It
Okay.
covers all the bases. But if you're looking to get a wheel that has that size of battery pack and diameter of wheel, then yeah, of course you're gonna go for the Panther. I like the Panther a lot, but I can see a lot of use cases where it would be a bit too difficult to maneuver with.
A little too much, right? You think for everyday riding it might be a little bit too much?
Probably.
Okay.
But there's people out there that can make it work. So I mean, there's going to be anomalies. There's going to be some oddities to the preferences of the wheels. But like at the end of the day, it's all subjective. It's what works best for you.
Mm-hmm.
I go against the range
too, and that's a giant freaking wheel. But he makes it work, and he enjoys it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's preference, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say it comes down to if you need the extra range. That to me would be the only deciding factor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you're trading off a newer, heavier wheel, and no disrespect to Begode wheels, but I like the fit and finish of Leaperkin better. But I race Begode. I like Begode wheels. I just and then the suspension. Like suspension is good for Leaperkin.
Okay.
What do you guys think about this 200? What is it? 210 volt wheel that's coming out, 1,800 watt hour for racing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that?
I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'll let you more when I try it.
You guys haven't heard anything yet?
That's just like
I only heard about I only heard about a 210 volt wheel that was really heavy.
It's heavy, but they got an 1,800 watt hour. That's what I've heard, man. and it's for
Sounds
racing.
like our
So
next race wheel.
it can't.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah,
like our
it
next
doesn't
race wheel.
exactly. Sounds
Mhm.
like Aaron's wheel.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a
Oh,
lot.
dude, check this out. So, yeah, I have to finish this. I forgot. So, my most epic to date for me, anyway, man, for riding AUCs, I was doing the Broadway bomb. Can't remember what year it was. Maybe 2022, 2023. I can't remember the exact date. And there's maybe like 2 miles left in the Broadway bomb. And if anyone's rode the Broadway bomb, it's freaking crazy. It really is. I mean, you can ride chill, but riding in New York's just a whole different freaking animal anyway. Anyone that rides in New York, Aaron, you guys have rode over, so you know. So I'm going down Broadway, and I look, and I see Ruben and Liam, man, riding hand in hand down Broadway. You can hear me yelling, "Get it, get it!" Man, that had to be one of the most epic freaking moments ever to see father and son rolling down in the freaking Broadway bomb, man. That was probably one of my favorite highlights of me riding ever, dude. That put a smile on my face, man. So shout out to Ruben and Liam. And they're both phenomenal riders. But that had to be one of my favorite moments ever, man. That was really cool to see that. So even when you, Zach, and your dad making these moments, man, that's some good freaking stuff, dude.
That's cool stuff, man.
Next, we're gonna see them holding hands while riding.
Holding hands and touching tips.
Hey, if you don't do it, I'll hold hands with your dad.
Will you hold hands with Roger?
I'll do more than hold hands.
Guys. We have what suspension, Aaron? Do you have?
I already answered that. Yeah.
Answered that one? Okay.
Yeah, I wrote him in the comments. So it was a Vince Ramirez linkage and I think a D&M shock, maybe 550-pound coil.
Okay.
And that's Roger's wheel. But at the race in China, it was completely stock. Just air shock with like, I don't know, 200 PSI in it or something.
All right, cool. Let's see. I'm trying to move the race to Hawaii. That would be nice. Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Rogers, he's not dressed for the live stream. That was.
Yeah, he's at home naked on the couch.
He's letting it all hang out, so. Oh man.
With his pee goo.
He really lets it all hang out when he's watching these live streams.
Yeah. Poor Sarah.
Oh, man.
Got that. Yeah, you answered that one. Cool. We'll go there.
Yep.
Okay. Trying to move through.
Yeah, burn through those. We're so far behind on comments.
Yeah,
people keep leaving good comments. There's great comments that we never read or respond to. It's great. These are like from an hour ago.
Yeah, that's 11:09. Okay. Well, they weren't even in the race, though, Dale. That's why I didn't make the podium.
Funny joke.
Unless they're talking about other races. I don't know. What do you guys? I mean,
yeah. Bring up the one where Zach said he's not wearing any pants.
Oh
It's
yeah,
right around there. Yeah. If you notice, he hasn't stood up this whole time.
I'm afraid to. Everything will fall out.
I'd get up, but then this would get flagged and brought down by YouTube.
I'll have to hit the edit.
Yeah,
I'm black from the waist
They
down.
made the podium, then they didn't fall twice. Oh, okay.
I'm black from the waist down. See, I'm wearing black pants.
Oh,
I don't know what you guys are thinking.
They're talking about the X-Way crash.
A whole lot in two hands.
Two hands, a little bit. Are we going to talk about the X-Way crash?
We already talked about that. That was way earlier.
old news.
Right.
Well, let's just hope Maribel's okay, man, and Kevin. You know,
Ego's a fragile thing.
90% of ego could be eliminated by just wearing gear.
exactly. You always wear your gear, don't you, dude?
Yeah, I fall all the
Zach
time.
always crashes.
Yeah, I always wear all my gear, and I crash too, dude. Like Austin's like, why do you wear
you're
that?
riding a one-wheeled device.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna
Exactly.
expect to crash. We wear helmets and wrist guards and elbow pads and knee pads and chest protectors and butt pads and
Cups.
sternum protectors, cups,
I wear condoms when
neck
I ride.
protectors.
You never know when you
Yeah, you wear the strap on the rides.
Fucking
Well, this is
man.
this is
Maybe
a
a
good
butt
one
plug.
too. Willie Brady's talking about this. Have a stock race with wheels. Just yank it out the box. How it comes, just jump and ride. You know, if everyone
Yeah, I
was
like that
running like
idea.
that one would
Yeah, I
be
like that
advantage or
idea.
disadvantage.
But all the
That's
same
like-
wheel.
That's like NASCAR style.
I mean,
Everyone on
but-
ET Maxes.
I mean, but still, you got air suspension to adjust, right? And that you still need to tinker with that because everyone's weight's different, right? You got different PSIs for the tires, so there it still wouldn't be 100% even across the board, but that wouldn't be fair either.
Okay.
But it also depends on the wheel because some of the wheels, the stock pads are not bad. Like the Falcon, the stock pads on that pretty good. A lot of the rest of the Pagode wheels, absolute trash.
Yeah, I learned their pads are lacking.
Yeah, like the Master ones, they stock.
Yeah, ET Max is definitely better for bigger riders. As big guy wheels, as Cobra would say.
Yeah.
So this one's saying, here what? Oh, come on, man. Let's start this. Sometimes it doesn't want to click over.
Well,
Zach looks like he needs a Red Bull.
Yeah, Zach.
Ooh, I got coffee.
Hey, what you got in there?
I got OG Kush.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He definitely poured something in there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weed in here.
You're a little too relaxed.
Yeah.
For this coffee.
I like that.
We answered that about the
Well, you both are in Cali, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're like 8 hours away from each other.
yeah,
guys 8
dispensaries
hours?
are all over the place.
7,
I thought
8
you
hours, depending on traffic.
Oh, I thought you guys were a little bit closer.
He's way up north.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's up in
northeast of
Sac
San
Town.
Francisco. Yeah,
Yeah,
way
I'm
up there.
between San Francisco and Lake Tahoe. Right in
You're
the middle.
you're in Sac Town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and where are you at, Aaron?
Anaheim, so close to LA.
Yeah, you're over here. Yeah.
Okay.
You go with food on you if there was no.
About the F-22. Hold on a second.
Are you
I
still
don't know
living
about that,
near
Dale.
the warehouse?
Yeah, I'm right outside Rogers' warehouse right now. I'm connected to
saw
the
homeless
Wi-Fi from
person
outside the building. Hey,
Last weekend we saw
I'm not
homeless.
homeless. Oh yeah,
No, not you. She was sleeping out front of the main door. And
Yeah,
we get there,
yeah.
we're like, can you just move? And then we come back and she left a giant turd. So
Oh
we're like,
my
okay,
God.
Oh, spit.
that was too big to be from her, so we're blaming you.
Way to go, bro.
That
I
was
didn't
funny.
even, and I didn't even wipe. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Well, there's no way she was eating that much fiber.
Oh man, you guys.
This
Oh,
conversation
wow.
going places it shouldn't, and I like it.
No, it was bigger than that banana you swallowed.
Hey, Zach,
Bananas.
Well,
that's a low one.
Yeah, I'm actually disappointed that you didn't bring one for the live stream. Like I was actually thinking if I had a banana with me, and I don't. I have a dildo, but not a banana.
the yellow
Oh,
one.
my God.
Is this family
Bust it
friendly?
out. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's UT family friendly.
Once it gets past 12 o'clock, I think it's just no holds barred.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
adult
dude.
swim.
Yeah, let's go. I won't hold back.
This one's talking about racing. It says there's not more races, but we don't have enough opportunities to race. It's I don't know,
Alameda's
man.
like an hour away. Where's
See,
Rico at?
My
If
biggest
I'm
thing with
being
racing
honest,
is you
There's
go to
no
set up an event
racers
and you don't get enough
because we
people that
don't-
race. You know, that would be tough
There's
too.
plenty of opportunity to just go to a race.
Mhm.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
They're everywhere.
So
They
I
are.
made a video just over a week ago on my YouTube channel about Intro to Speed, right? So that Mario Chacon started Intro to Speed, and it's something that anyone can do. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to like sign any waivers or do anything. Literally, you go on Amazon, you buy a bunch of these cones for like $20, lay them down in the biggest parking lot you can find. Go to any park and just lay them down. If you get kicked out, you get kicked out. But just by any like department store, any place that has a big parking lot close enough to your house, unless you live in the middle of nowhere, put up those cones and practice. I know for myself, back in Pennsylvania, where I'm from, we didn't have intro to speed yet. I wanted to get into racing, and the only practice I had was riding on the streets. And I mean, I wasn't as fast then as I am now, and I'm like probably not even close, but I was still relatively quick. That when I went to my first intro to speed, I was competitive. So I don't think that's a really good excuse. I think it's just you gotta create the racetrack near you, right? And maybe your finances aren't the strongest or not, but find a way to maybe hitch a ride or something to go to Alameda, because that intro to speed is a really good opportunity if you're interested in racing.
There you go. There you go, man. Now, I'm not the fastest rider, but I know when I would go, I would do speed laps in this big parking lot. I mean, I've showed it in plenty of my videos, and it's just like something happens, you go down, you can slide it out or whatever. You don't have to worry about falling down in front of cars. But it helps, man. It really does.
So recently we adopted a new way of timing our racing, right? Like for intro to speeds, we have these little lap timers. And when you cross the finish line, not only does it record your time, and it does it in real time, it actually puts it on a computer, and then you can connect it up to a Bluetooth speaker, and it'll actually announce what your lap time was. So like we'll put the speaker a little ahead of where the finish line is. So by the time it actually tells you your lap time is when you're going by again, doing your next lap. So you can be competitive. You keep listening in for your lap time while fucking blazing through this course. And I've only done it once so far, and it was the most fun intro to speed I'd ever had, because not only were you competing against yourself, but you knew what every other person's lap time was, and it was no longer, I think I'm faster than you. It was actually, I whooped your ass that lap, and now the other person's like, okay, now I'm going to go back and do the same shit. Yeah. So we started just adopting that recently. And like the buy-in, I think is like $60 for the transponder, but totally worth it if you're any type of serious about racing, or if you just want to improve and get better. Not only are you going to the intro to speed where you're practicing against yourself, you're also practicing against your peers, and now you're practicing against lap times, whether it's against yourself or your peers. And that's a really cool new tool that I think is going to help a lot of people in not only making them faster, but it's so much freaking fun. So something to look into. I'm not sure who to reach out to at this point to get a transponder, but maybe scour the internet a little bit for intro to speed, reach out, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be that difficult. I mean, even if you do like Tough Mudder races and stuff like that, everyone gets one of those little transponders, when you run past and it gives you your time and all that thing. But I don't see why it'd be that difficult to find one. How was CES, guys?
How was CES? Zach, how was CES?
It was like Disneyland, but with all the coolest, latest technology in the world. I had a blast.
Dude, I saw the video. I was like, I want to go. I always wanted to go to CES.
Yeah, I guys should have gone.
CES. That's awesome.
No, we got like a bunch of like people who are like, those things are cool, but I'd kill myself. And we're like, you're not going to kill yourself. Just get over here and get on it. And they're like, no. And like, okay. Just come sit down on it. And they go and sit down on it. Like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I want one.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was a lot of that, and getting people who were like, oh, I've never, to holy shit, like, I want to buy one. This is cool.
And that's cool, too. You guys are there to walk them through it. So it takes out a lot of the fumbling around,
Oh, totally. Especially with like you said, had two tires in parallel to help with the stability, so it really built that confidence factor a lot faster than trying to get them on a normal electric unicycle.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was about getting new people that either maybe had seen them before, or people that never even seen it at all, and just expose them to a new type of vehicle. Whether it's for a lot of people wanted it for commuting purposes, and a lot of business people, going between the train and the office, or their car to the train to the office, whatever, or they have a 5 or 10 mile, ride to work, and they occasionally ride their bicycle. And I'm like, you can get on this wheel, you could be there in a quarter of the time, and you wouldn't have to break a sweat, So like, it was really cool seeing a lot of business people, a lot of people going to work that were interested. And then there was a lot of people that were just interested, in general. They were just like, what is this? Like, it was really neat, like a lot. So we're used to it in the community, but for the person that has never seen this before, this is amazing. They're like, what is this? It's just floating. It's just hovering there. So, and like Zach said, like all the people that were so intimidated by it, finally getting them on one was really exciting. So like, I felt like it was a challenge to myself to convince every single person, if I could, that was shying away from it or was terrified of it, and give them, not just get them on it, but make them feel comfortable. Like Zach said, so that they and the InMotion E20 was literally the best learning tool possible. It's not the wheel for everyone, but it's definitely an amazing wheel to get started riding. That was really exciting. But to be honest, the best part of CES was all the hot Asian girls.
All right. So they're bringing the booth babes back now?
Dude, we needed them. So instead, we just had the most handsome EUC guys, Zach and Brian and Law. And I somewhere fall down the bottom, but, I'm on that list, out of 10. And, just having those guys man in the booth was pretty cool. Girls next year.
All right.
I'm just gonna dress and drag and see.
There you go. And see what happens.
My eyelashes. I'll shave my beard, maybe.
Some like bearded women. You hear that from me though.
Do it.
Cobra said that InMotion will be coming out with several new wheels. So that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what they have on the horizon, but I think just like King Song finally coming out with stuff, it's nice to see all the companies trying to make not only new stuff. I like the piece for in the small wheel section, right? Like stuff like the V9 and the Falcon that have suspension. That's been a dream of mine since I started riding, because when I first started riding, the only suspension wheels out were the S18 and the V11, and they weren't small for their time. They were big wheels. So seeing smaller stuff, and then King Song tried it. It'd be nice to see InMotion, Libra Kim. But all their wheels are like the wheels that we race on, right? So seeing more race wheels from other companies would be nice as well.
Gotcha.
E20 can fuck off.
I got one thing to say.
We got
I appreciate you, Aaron, and you, Zach, coming on the show. I got to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to work tomorrow. No. I wish I could talk forever. Yeah, it sucks, dude. I'd start, but whatever. So thank you guys. Congratulations on the fucking win. Go America. You guys brought home the gold, and just keep on doing what you're doing, guys. We appreciate you, and we have mad love for you guys, and we're glad we had you on the show, and I'm gonna leave you alone with Sensei, and we'll see you guys I'll see you guys in March, dude.
Yeah,
sounds good, man. Looking forward to it.
All right, Mikey, have a good one, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for being here.
All right, brother. You guys have a good night.
You too. And now it's gonna be awkward. 3 of us.
3.
Just kidding.
3. Right,
guys, he's still here with us.
I'll see you.
Great. We just keep that up.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's
burn through all these good comments here. Heaps of issues with connections with the V12 speakers. Well, we were noticing that there were some connection issues between multiple wheels, but at CES, it was a lot going on. There's a lot of people walking by, a lot of metal, a lot of different Bluetooth things going on. So I'm hoping out in the real world that it's better.
Okay, so it's picking up, getting a lot of interference.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues when we were trying to link multiple wheels. Like if they were only 10 feet away, and there was something in between them, it was breaking up a lot, and kind of found that to be frustrating. So hopefully that gets fixed. Maybe a firmware update, maybe a new Bluetooth version, or maybe it was just within the building. It was just a problem.
Okay.
But yeah, InMotion wheels are not perfect. No wheel is perfect.
Right. Well, even Bluetooth headphones, man, things
Yeah.
come in, they go in and out a lot. Yeah, so
Yeah, the speakers are not that great, but you know what? First M10 wheel with speakers, so better than nothing, I'd say.
Yeah.
didn't they just an eighth? What did they just advertise today? I don't know if it was a console with A5. Is that what it was?
A5.
A5. Okay.
I don't know the specifics, but I guess that's the successor to the A2.
Yeah.
Like.
No, it's non-suspension, I believe, too. I don't think it has suspension. I don't think.
All right, where are we at here?
I'm going to put this one up here. We got the JBL Clip 5 is a great speaker, but it's way better to have it built in. Yeah, dude, I agree with that. I ride with my Bluetooth speaker less and less now. I just don't want to fall on that freaking thing. Okay, Boom 2, $100. I got a Wonder Boom. It sounds really good. Let's see. Oh, see? Here we go. Cobra says I actually fell off the top.
Ow.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man. I
Ow.
don't want to hit that at speed, man. You're breaking something.
Oh.
Look at that, more miles on a 9-bot 1C plus. Okay.
I'll tell you what, a whole lot of comments coming through. I like this. This is a very active comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. We got the Pit Zoom horn. Cardo headset speakers are not pedestrian feeling. Not everyone is going to like your genre of music. Yeah.
I mean, when I'm all by myself, no one's around, blast my music. When I'm in a public setting, it's kind of irritating to be that guy with your music blaring. And same with group rides. It's like when I first started riding, you don't know, so you go through like the whole list of what you should buy. Like you get the Leaths, you get the wrist guards, you get the TSG Pass Pro. Just kidding, don't buy that helmet. And the speaker was one of those things on that list. It was like, you got to get the JBL speaker. So I bought the JBL. I'm blasting at a group ride. I think I'm so cool. Then I realized every other person's doing it, and I got to hear their shit too. And I was like, you know what? From now on, earbuds or get a Cardo or something. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to read the room, and
right.
Not every genre of music will work.
Exactly.
You can get creative and find the right ones that'll work. And when you're riding around like a bunch of pedestrians, you'll actually split them because they'll turn over and be like, "Oh, that music, I like that stuff."
Right.
Like
I use mine more for just here I come. It's not super loud, but just because sometimes we're so silent and you ride by somebody, not even if you're going fast, you scare the crap out of them. So I use mine just so people can hear me coming, and I normally don't crank it too loud. And my music choice is all over the place, but.
Yeah, I prefer to play Hit 'Em Up by Tupac.
Good choice. Good choice. I think my playlist is Stanton Street Warriors, some old techno style music, I guess you would call it.
I mean, some people use that as the way to get attention, people's pedestrian attention, right? But then, a lot of people, they do the little finger bell or something, a couple of different little horns and stuff to try and get people's attention. I just run people over, that gets their attention. I give them that little shove, I'm like, you shouldn't be there on the sidewalk where I am going 30 mile an hour. You shouldn't be there.
They're in your way, dude.
Yeah. Watch where you're walking. You should have heard me coming. You should have expected this.
That's okay. Sherman, I'll charge at 20 amps.
Yeah.
Panther
it can actually go a little more than 20. What? Panther can go at 30?
Dang, dude, that's crazy.
I want to see it. I don't believe you, Roger.
We need proof, Roger.
Yeah, we need proof. If you could do 30, buy that wheel. Also, buy a Roger charger because you're going to need to if you're going to be able to charge that fast. Get yours at Roger Telegram. Don't buy it on Spotify, Shopify. It's not as good price. Gotta get
buy from the source, get it from Roger himself.
Use my discount code that doesn't exist to get yourself a Roger charger.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell
notification. Yes.
And subscribe to Roger's OnlyFans.
Like button And did I mention that Roger will be dropping his prices in the upcoming weeks? So
Roger has chest implants.
Roger has hair implants on his nipples.
He needs a hair implant on his head.
I
That
don't
guy's
know.
going bald.
But a credible source has told us that he indeed did get plastic surgery on his nipples.
Yeah. He actually doesn't get hair transplant because it saves weight, so he's faster as a racer, and that's why he got 5th place.
Yeah. And he can't see the back of his head anyway, so what's the point?
Oh, boy. Get roasted.
Roast time.
We can keep
Oh,
going.
my gosh. I play Ludicrous Move, bitch, on loop. I agree. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I actually do play that as well.
Oh, this one's for what's that? Zen didn't race us because he didn't feel. But he has
I just
Pagode.
play.
But Zen has Pagode wheels though. So I don't understand.
Excuses.
Okay, let me trying to keep cranking. And we got
Roger
that.
had for weight reduction? Yes, actually. He's very sensitive. Don't ever try and do a little purple nurple to him. He'll cry chop the shit out of you. Ask me how I know.
Oh yeah. It's drunk.
Zach, they're talking about your background, bro. I can't tell if you're drunk or it's the background.
No, the person watching that created the comment is the one that's drunk.
Yeah.
The background's not blurred. You're just seeing things a little funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you thought you were drunk. You are.
Me too.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
maybe
Where's
Zach
Roger?
got
Did he
something?
go to sleep? What a loser.
Wobbles can be completely eliminated by riding on 3 points on your feet instead of 4.
Ah.
I'm roasted.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone has a preference there. I think just kind of like squeezing the wheel real quick seems to get away most of the wobbles. Just give it a quick pull your calves in and just squeeze it and release, but maybe not.
He's got a point.
Yeah, wobbles are
3
weird.
points.
Wobble is a weird thing. I know, like for me, when I'm riding and I go to accelerate, it's almost like I can feel if the wheel's going to break. It's like when you can go when you first jump on it. If that makes any sense in what I'm saying, I don't know.
I think it's just one of those things you gotta just kind of figure out for yourself because everyone has like a way they said that got rid of the wobbles for them. I know one thing for me is like maybe starting out, I might have had my toes a little inwards on the wheel, and I was told you want to do more like duck feet, have them kind of outwards, or at least straight on the pedals. I think another thing is where your weight's positioned. So you want the weight towards the front of the wheel. So if you're leaning back too much, like a lot of people get brake wobbles because they're leaning back. So maybe tilting your pedals a little bit forward. That can kind of help sometimes. Just keeping your body weight over the front of the wheel. I think you're generally pretty safe. You won't get so many wobbles. But when you go to brake, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just I guess you just got to ride and experience it, and just you'll feel it. You'll know when it happens, man. It's just you got to know how to pull out of it because everyone's going to get wobbles. You just can't
do what Zach does and crash. That's what he does. He gets wobbles. He fully embraces the wobbles. He doesn't let it take him down. He does. He crashes into the pavement.
I let it happen.
He's not scared.
You have to accept what fate has bestowed upon you.
Exactly.
Ride the wobble. And if it bucks you off, it bucks you off.
Oh, here's one for you guys.
And then when it bucks you off, you make a 15-minute YouTube video about how you recovered from the crash.
That's always good viewing.
It is.
Guys,
you broke a lot of plastic on your wheels, so you got to get that monetary value back somehow. What better?
Here's one for you, Zach.
Yeah.
Speaking of wiping, how do you guys like the squat toilets? LOL.
It's the best. It's the most efficient way to get the waste out of your body.
Dude.
It really opens up your large intestine and lets it fall out.
Oh, boy. So I was on the off-road race, and I tried to specifically wait until we were back at the hotel where they had normal people toilets, not the ones where you gotta like hover over it. And I was like, this gotta go. Yeah, that Chinese food had to get out of me. So I get that bathroom, right? And I squat down and I'm trying to just stay over to the top of the toilet, but your pants are in the way, right?
Dude,
if you're
no.
squatting, you're gonna shit on your pants or pee on your pants, whatever. So you gotta be in a really weird position. They call it the Asian squat, not like that's a racist thing to say or anything, but you have to get in this weird position that I can't get in. So I'm braced up against the walls, like holding on like this, trying to take shit. Oh my God. I tell you what, all the racing I did, both off-road, on-road, my legs never burned more than during that dump, right? Don't recommend it. Hold that shit in.
That's hilarious, dude. That would be rough. Yeah, man. You would crap on your pants.
I actually had to race after that. My legs were tired. I was cooked. 1 out of 10. Don't recommend.
Don't do it, guys. Hold it. Yeah, dude. If you can get a hold of no one's running on a dirt track, use it. That's what this comment's
Also,
about.
Little thing. They don't have toilet paper in China. You got to bring your own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no toilet paper in the store. You got to bring it with you. And then they just dump water on the floor. It's freaking wild. They had a whole freaking huge bucket there of water, and you just scoop it up and you throw it at the toilet.
For real?
Yeah. No, not joking.
Damn,
Freaking
dude.
disgusting.
And that was at the
Manual
track,
flush.
though.
Yeah.
At the track? Okay.
Oh, there was a cat, I think, that was licking up the pee, I think, after Roger used the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, sat in the fucking bowl and was licking into the fucking toilet.
You guys.
It was funny. It was at karaoke too, and the cat was all the way in there. We're like, I gotta go. Can someone move the cat? Do I touch the cat?
So don't pet the cats in China.
Or
I start peeing while the cat start rolling around in it.
You guys are hilarious.
Kelly golden shower.
The golden shower cat. Zach, this question is for you. Do you prefer road or off-road racing? How does your approach differ for each?
I like off-road because it's more fun, more stimulating. Street can be kind of boring because you have to be perfect on street. And, it's like, how perfect are you going to be every time? Are you going to be perfect one time and awful the other? Or are you going to be good, bad, okay? That's why I like off-road, because you can pick different lines that you think could be faster, or do a different feature because it's I don't know, I'm biased.
No, everyone has their preference.
Yeah, that's just what I prefer. But I do enjoy going really, really fast, and the best way to achieve that is on the track. So that's where I do get the joy out of that.
Well, teaching people to ride is fun. I like teaching people, the few people that I have taught. But it's not for everybody. I mean, I tell people, if you're scared, I'm not putting a person on the wheel. If you that just makes for a hard freaking time, because it's like the whole time they're just tensed up. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. You got to relax, man, when you ride.
Real quick shout out to Cobra. He said he was going to bed.
Thank you, Mr. Cobra.
Big time.
Always.
We want to do his live stream next if he'll have us. I'll wear my Real Life Rally shirt if you're gonna do it.
Well, yeah, we'll wear the Real Life Rally shirts.
Yeah. Here's a quick thing. So, how did you feel during your race, Zach, the off-road race? Like, how did you feel about your competition during the race? Do you feel like you were cruising, or do you think you were going as fast, balls to the wall? Like, how did you feel during your race?
Well, I was kind of nervous about the competition. Ilya seemed pretty good. Nico's pretty good. Kevin from China is really, really good. Max Bierlich's really good. Vladimir's pretty good. And a bunch of other people. Yeah, and also a lot of Chinese people didn't have American names, so we didn't know what to call them.
Mm-hmm.
So we just call them by their numbers.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a lot of great people out there. I felt pretty confident, but things happen. I could, you could fall, you could slide out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially on a course like that with so many people. There was a lot of moments where we're like really close to each other, and all it takes is one person to wipe out in front and dominate
Yeah,
in the
man.
back, which has happened a few times during that race. I don't know if you remember, but like Nico wiped out after one of the jumps. Then like
Ilya crashed into him.
Someone else hit another wheel.
Yep.
There was a few pileups like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
I was there for both of Ilya's crashes. I was posted up with my camera. I had to post them at some point, but there's already like 5 different angles people have posted of his crash. So he had one where he came down. It seemed a bit on his heels, so I think he over-torqued. He saved it, but he couldn't save the whole thing, and he went down. So that was fail number 1, which was really frustrating for him because he's a really good racer. And then later on, Nico, same jump, came down, over-torqued, slid out, and then his wheel kind of went out into the way. And they're supposed to flag when someone crashes, but you can't respond to that when you're in the air, right? So he's, Ilya's coming in the air while Nico's crashing. So as soon as he lands, his wheel is right in his way. Takes him out a second time. So one of the biggest competitors to Zach that we all had really high hopes for, thought was going to do really well, just unfortunate circumstances. And then maybe he couldn't get his wheel to balance. The first time he crashed, his wheel went crazy, did the spin up Tasmanian devil, and then he was having trouble getting it to turn on, So
that's the crazy part with racing, man. It doesn't take much. It's like everything has to be, I'm not going to say it has to be 100% correct, but little things can just throw you off. It's crazy how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you guys kept your composure. I'm sure everything, even though you guys won, everything didn't go 100% the way you wanted it to. You just have to deal with it in real time,
I mean, I got really lucky on my paved race. All my races on the paved. Like once I was out of practice and my wheel wasn't screwed up, I laid it down. I laid down the heat, and it was fine. Actually, Zach and I raced on our first heat on the on-road race, and that was a close race. So it was 5 laps, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so Zach, because my qualifying time was so terrible, it was a 107 with the 134 volt blitz, and Zach made it up. I think you were in the very front place, weren't you, for our race?
Mm-hmm.
So I got a really good start. I'm second place off of like coming back from like 5th or 7th place or something like that. Off the beginning race, like our first heat. So now it's just me and Zach for the rest of the race, and I'm on his tail the whole time, just waiting for him to screw up or make a clean pass.
Yeah.
So I stayed with him until I think it was the end of the 4th lap, and just about the end, and we were passing a slow rider, which it was probably David Jansen.
Oh no! Shout out to David Jansen.
I'm pretty sure it was NYC E-Rider. That slow fuck. Anyway.
We love
That's
you,
what he calls himself. Yeah. He doesn't watch these, so you don't have to worry about it. He thinks he's better. So yeah, he came out and participated, and we lapped him during the race. And so then I got in front of Zach. Now I'm in front of Zach. I got him on the straightaway. We go into the long sweeping left turn. That is a decreasing radius turn, gets really tight. So you're braking and turning at the same time, coming down from 60 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
And he takes a risky move, and he cuts me off on the inside of the turn, going too fast, but he gets it. He almost hits me, but he gets it. Now he's in first place again. Took a risky move and got in front of me. So then I just let him have it the rest of that lap. This is the 5th and final lap, and I know I'm going to get him on the straightaway. So I come out of the last turn, and I'm in it. And here I go. I pass him. We're on the front straight, and Zach dips his wheel, and he's trying to pull it back while I'm passing him, and I got the win for our first race. But it was a very exciting race. I guess a lot of spectators thought it was great, and that was the first race that any of us done yet. Like that was the very first heat of the day. But then Show Scott against Zach. I guess you said he tried to take your line or something during your race, and he wobbled out and he crashes on the last turn, on lap 1.
That back turn, right? It was at that
back.
Yeah.
It was the very final turn. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah. So no. I get him on taking first through the whole lap, and then on that last turn before the straightaway, I came into that really hot because I knew it's a very vulnerable point to where the person behind you can make an easy pass. So I decided just to kind of hit it really sharp, really quick. And I knew I could get away with it because I have my tire pressure really, really low. And the tire I'm on, I know it's very sticky at a certain degree. So I do it and I get out scot-free. And then Show comes in on my exact line and he slides out. And I look back as he's sliding out. I'm like, fuck, you should have done that. I'm laughing in my head. I'm like, fucking get up, dude. You should... Don't follow my lines. If you know me, don't follow my lines.
That's crazy. And that's when he made that crazy comeback, right?
Yeah. It was from 10th to 2nd place.
That was freaking nuts, dude.
In 4 laps.
Oh yeah, he was looking to get it.
Yeah, it was like
and he went off. That was a stupid turn.
He was riding skilled and angry. It seemed like, dude, right?
Very impressive.
That was amazing, though. That was crazy. Zach, they're asking about your neck protector. Tell me about your neck protector. Yeah.
It works. Why it works? Because I've broken a few of them from crashing. And if I wasn't wearing them, I would have broken my own neck.
Jeez Louise.
And I wouldn't probably be here today.
This stops you from like the whiplash snapping.
Oh yeah, it keeps you from snapping your neck back.
Okay.
Your helmet hits the neck brace.
Okay, that's good to know, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hit their head like that.
So that shows you the force they absorb.
A lot of people, they hit and bang. Yeah, dude, that's no good. Devo, what's happening, brother? Welcome.
Yeah, Devo,
welcome. Always a pleasure having you
Let's
here.
Go. Vibes is here, Thomas.
Oh, Vibes is in the house.
UC Vibes.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah, and Roger already said he was going to bed 10 minutes ago, so good night, old man Roger.
Oh, man.
12 hours from now, we're doing a fun ride. We're doing a Mount Baldy Falcon ride, so we're going to see if the
Falcon man, is it going to make it?
I don't think so. And they invited me, but I don't have a Falcon, so I got a Commander Pro that doesn't have a tire on it right now that I got to go work on after this. And I'm going to ride that and make fun of them the whole time.
That's crazy.
And then they're going to ask me to push them and be like, you chose this life.
What is the battery on the Falcon? Was it 750?
900 watt hour, I think.
Okay, I'm a little bit off. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's going to be rough, man. Definitely no speed.
It's like a 7,000 foot elevation increase. I don't think they're making it.
Yeah, they were removed for a reason.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, here we go. Zen is mainly riding Leaper Cam at the moment. He has the L, the Lynx, the ATM. Okay.
At the moment, and trashing Bagode. What's your take on Bagode compared to Leaper Cam? Zach?
I don't know. They are two good companies. They make good products. I'm going to draw a Venn diagram.
King Sung does not make it into that circle at all.
It doesn't make it in the circle. Why is Zen only riding me for Kim? I don't.
Remember, Leaperchem was made out of what? Ex-Pagode employees, right? Aren't they?
Mhm.
Didn't they split off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep. I mean, most of my wheels are Pagode. I've had one Leaperchem. I like Pagode. I like Leaperchem too, but
Maybe if a Leaper Kim makes a podium, I'd consider it.
Did InMotion at CES spill any deets on larger wheel after V9 V12S? I do not know.
No.
I would like to see something along the lines of the 3600, 4000 watt hour. I said this to Albert. Albert works at InMotion, and I said,
right.
where are the higher range wheels, right? So the V13 was going to be that wheel, 3000 watt hour. And it's proved that if you ride that wheel with any type of reasonable speed, you only get like 35, 40 miles range.
Yeah.
So that's one area that InMotion is not doing well at this time. I'd like to see them come out with something faster and more range. I mean, their build quality is great, right? At least it seems that way. Waterproof ratings, where other companies don't actually get their wheels certified, they just say extreme waterproofing, or like Leaperchem doesn't say anything, but they're fairly waterproof. So I'd like to see InMotion step up their game with more range wheels, faster wheels. I'd like to see them get away from the air suspension. I like the adjustability, but I'd like more hydraulic based stuff. The V14 was a really good example. Lots of speed, not too heavy, good coil suspension. So, but where's the range? So it'd be nice if they would start coming out with some bigger wheels.
Weren't they supposed to have a V18? I don't know if those were concepts.
I've heard of it. Maybe that's on the horizon. I know V9, and V9 is good, but it's not a range wheel. It's 750 watt hour. So I don't want to see any more big 21, 22 inch rims at this time. I'd prefer them to keep it 20 inches because that's what most people like and ride. If they could find a way to do all that and not make it weigh 120 some pounds. Well, I think the V13 is like 117 is what it's rated at.
It's a heavy wheel.
It's too heavy. It's too heavy for the weight, right? I mean, for the capacity. So I don't know anything, but I'd like to see some stuff soon. I never really considered InMotion after I got rid of my V11. They're just not. They hadn't been making anything fast or long range up until that point. Maybe they'll get the hint. I mean, Pagode is like the go-to if you want range. If you want big, heavy wheels, I still think Sherman L is like the best all-arounder.
Right. I think sometimes manufacturers, they need to read the room a little bit better. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to throw shade. It's like you watch social media. Look what people are riding. Look, you gotta just get better with that. Read the room and make slightly better decisions.
Well, one thing that, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead, bro.
So one of the things that I constantly run into is us as a community. We have our own preferences and what we like, but we're still even our thoughts are the niche of the niche, right? So InMotion does a really good job making wheels for the general consumer. We're not the general consumer. We're like big time, hobby enthusiasts, right? Like we love the wheels. We love all these different types of wheels for different reasons. People ask me all the time. Currently, I'm only down to 3 wheels that I own, and people are like, "Why do you need 3 wheels?" And I'm like, "The 3 wheels for 3 different purposes." Exactly. Your average person that gets a wheel only has one. They're using it to commute to school or work, on campus. They're using it to replace a car. Maybe they're not old enough to drive yet, so this is their way to get around. And the bulk majority of what a lot of these companies have to offer, once again, back to InMotion, because they don't make a long-range wheel. The wheels that they do make right now are good enough for the general consumer. But us, we want more, right? So,
right.
So you say, like, you wish that they would listen to us more. I agree. But, I mean, at the end of the day, so for, once again, InMotion, they're the biggest wheel company, right? They have the most sales. They have the most market share. So they sell a lot. The V12, I think, is the biggest, the most selling wheel of all time or something like that. They're on Amazon. It just proves that even though we both say, why aren't they listening to us? Why don't they do what we want? but it seems like they already know. They are speaking from results, and we're just speaking from our own personal experiences.
Gotcha.
They get plenty of sales as is, but like the V13, I think was their kind of answer to having the fastest wheel and the safest wheel and smart BMS and all this stuff. And I don't want to say it was a flop, but I don't know too many people that like the V13 or want one. So, like maybe they know better than we do, is what I'm saying. But it would be nice to see them try to do more like what Begode does, where we're like, we want a range wheel. Here's a Master Pro. You know, it'd be cool if they'd start listening to us a little more.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, dude, it's like trying to put together a Rubik's Cube, I guess. It's I know for me, because people would ask me, oh man, how come he has something? I said, dude, same thing you said, different wheel for different from off-road. I don't want to be riding on a big old EX20. My EX20 is my cruising wheel. You know what I mean? So it's like
that's a heavy wheel.
Yeah, it's freaking heavy. My favorite wheel, and I'm getting rid of it though, was my Tesla V2. I can just pick that thing up, throw it on the bus, throw it in my coupe, and just go, man. I love that wheel. So you need a different wheel for the job. Right tool for the job, man.
I think that's just what appeals most to the market, right? So at the CES show, we're showing off the new wheels or newer wheels, and then existing wheels. What we didn't show was the older wheels, the InMotion V5, the V8, the V10, and I still made a point to tell people about those wheels, right? So like there was a lot of business people. The E20 wasn't going to cut it for them. The next step up was the unreleased V9, and I can't tell them what the price is because we don't know the price. So how can I even recommend it, right? Then the next step up after that was V11. Well, that's a pretty big, heavy wheel with tall pedals that's hard to learn on. So I was telling a lot of like the business folk that just had a 1, 2, 3 mile commute between, maybe their house and the train station or something. I would say, hey, maybe get a V8, right? That's a good wheel. That's a good learner wheel, but it's also a good wheel for slower speeds and whatnot. So, like that's what made most sense for, I think, for a lot of people that were interested. So, and also case in point, I would tell them you could put this in your locker, right, at your job at the gym. Right before this live stream, I went to the gym, took a shower. I rode my 16X. I put it in the locker. I locked it up and took a shower. You can't do that with a bigger wheel.
No.
So I think like that's the market. It's mostly for the smaller wheels.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I love the grab and go wheels. That NOSFET arrows are looking pretty cool. But yeah, dude, it's a tightrope walk, man. Let me see. I'm talking about the Falcon charges quick with the 5 amp charger. Yeah, because it's only 900 watt hours, so that thing would charge up quick.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Let me see. All right, here we go. Here's one. Does Begode have a bad relationship with LeaperChem at all? Like they are bitter? The head of the Begode seems to be a cool guy for sure, but was never see anyone from LeaperChem. Well, LeaperChem is a much smaller company too, though. They're small compared to Begode, anyway.
All I know is that there's it's family and there's some bad blood there. There's just some disagreements or whatever, and they aren't friendly.
Wow.
So
Begode blames LeaperChem for indirectly killing his mother.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Yeah. Like,
okay.
Leaving the company left the company in a very difficult position, and thus, I don't know how, but I can see with the financial struggle, the emotional discourse could lead to the death of his mother.
Well, that would be enough to hate someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
Dude.
Didn't expect that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Wow.
There wasn't much mention about like, oh, hey, like I hate those people because they left my company and stole my intellectual rights. It's like, no, it's like they killed my mother. It's like, fuck, that's shit.
That's like
Is
George
the
Fly. That's
translation off?
heavy.
No, he fucking said it. Okay.
Woo. Okay.
Motion never made a wheel that appealed to me. V14 is good. It's late on the East Coast. Yeah, good night, Sterling.
Sterling, yeah,
Appreciate
man, it
you.
is a little.
We
We're
love
trying to
you.
barrel through.
That's
I like
Roanoke,
the
Virginia, right
V14.
there.
Oh, dude, the oak, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
It says
wait a second.
V18 to V9. I don't know. Maybe that's the name change.
They look different though. That V18 looks more like
I think they're different models. I don't know. They go through like 5 different name changes.
Looks like the V12 almost. It looks like a V12 with suspension. If you look at it, it has like the V12 headlight. Yeah, it looks different. I could be 100%
starting to
wrong.
sound like Bagode with about 1 million wheels coming out, and I can't remember which model's which. Field weakening is a game changer to Bagode then. Zach, are you frozen?
No, am I?
You are so still. You looked frozen, dude.
Yeah, I thought he was. I'm looking at
Yeah, no, bro, you good?
No, I'm good. I was just texting.
Okay.
Texted me.
Well, I've never had a chance to ride with field weakening, so I can't answer that.
I mean,
you guys ride
we
with
raced with it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your field weakening at for the paved track?
I think I started at 6th in every heat. I brought it down until the final. I did it at 2.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So the lower the number, the less field weakening. So you get more torque, but you don't get the same upper end speed.
Yeah.
It's a trade-off.
All right.
A lot of people were racing on 9, but they were pulling it back to like 7 or 6 because they were dipping too easily. I had it at 6, and I only kept it at 6 because that's what I raced Roger's wheel on at ABS. So I was like, I'm just going to keep it with what I know. And it was only until the final race when I was already basically topped out speed-wise and decided to torque it some more. And that's the one time I got a dip out of it. So.
Yeah, you guys are pushing them wheels hard to be dipping them things.
Oh,
man.
yeah. What's your daily driver? So, generally speaking, I ride the Kingsong 16X. I also have a Kingsong 14D that I love for the really short trips. It's just so small and light and easy to truck around. In fact, until I learned that I could fit the 16X in the locker at the gym, it's like a 3.5 mile trip each way, and I would ride the 14D there and back. But once I found out I could ride the 16X, I was like, I'm not riding that slow wheel that far. And then I have a Commander Pro that I use for every other ride. I had borrowed the tire off that to race in China, and I decided not to go through the effort of pulling the tire back off. So that tire is now in China.
You left
Yep. So I went to spend another $53. Yeah, I bought another $53 tire, and I have to put a new tube in because I forgot the tube was also in the tire. So kind of frustrating, but
is the I ride my T4 Pro a lot. That's the one I ride the most. Actually, no. Believe it or not, you know what? No, I ride my RS19 probably more than anything else. And then my T4 Pro comes in, then EX20. I still love the RS19. It's just the
torque.
form. Yeah, form factor, man.
Yeah.
Pick it up like a lunch and just go, and it's quick enough.
What pads you got on it?
What pads I have on it? I have the Alien Rides pads. Alien Rides pads and the Clark pedals.
Okay.
On it.
Very nice.
Wait, you know what? No. Hold on a second. I changed it. I have Clark pads on it with the Clark pedals. I changed it out. I used to have the Alien Rides pads.
Which Clarks you got?
Say it again.
Which Clark pads do you have?
Not the Titan foam, but the ones a little bit smaller than the Titan. The one underneath it.
Yeah. There's the Extreme 3, I think, which is very similar to that, a little bit smaller, and then you got the even older ones that were like a harder print.
Yeah, I got the one below it, like you said. It's still soft.
Yeah, I think it's called Extreme 3. I don't remember, but yeah. Yeah, Goodwill. What part of New York do you live?
Well, I live in Jersey, so 13
Okay.
miles outside of New York.
That's right.
But I work on 50th and Lexington. So I'm in New York every day. I'm in New York every day. And that's the RS for me is the easiest wheel to get in and out of the city.
How do you take New Jersey Transit to like Grand Central or something? Or
I take it to Port Authority. 42nd and 8th Avenue.
Take the ferry
bus.
across.
The bus.
The bus. Okay.
Right through the Lincoln Tunnel. And sometimes I would catch the train. It's easier to get the wheel on a train. But
yeah,
it works.
Whenever I ride New York, I'm always coming from Pennsylvania, so I park at Newark, Penn Station, and I take the path.
Okay.
It's just too easy and convenient.
15 minutes, 20 minutes for me, Newark.
Yeah. You're more north, right?
Yeah. Yep. Not far at all, man. Not far. But you know how it is in coming out of Penn Station. Very busy.
Yeah.
But so you have a nice grab and go wheel. It works.
You get off at Penn Station in New York?
Yeah. Either Penn Station or Port Authority, one of the two, depending on if I take the train or I take the bus. And then I just come out right in front, zip straight across over to the east side. And I normally take, Park Avenue. I'll take Park Avenue up all the way up to 50th. Takes me right there over 2 blocks.
Yeah, Zach needs to come to New York with me sometime again. New York is so much fun to ride, but not this time of year. Too damn cold.
Yeah, you don't want to come through this time. You're so horrible, dude.
I've rode the winter in New York, and you guys are New Yorkers are tough.
You got to be a different breed, man.
Yeah. I grew up and lived my whole life in Pennsylvania, so I know what cold's about, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So
yeah.
Yep.
You know what's up.
Yep.
Lot of salt. A lot of bridges in Pittsburgh.
466. I actually did a video about that. 466 bridges.
That's wild.
That's crazy, right?
Wild.
Daniel Lopez, what's up, buddy? He's asking, what kind of cross training or other activities have you helped on your riding and racing, guys?
Zach?
Well, I wake up early. I go running. I do the gym quite often. Do a lot of yoga.
So you're stretched out.
Stretched out. Some weightlifting. That helps out a
lot.
lot.
You guys did though. Zach is freaking ripped, healthy. He's not a big muscular guy, but he's like a Bruce Lee type of guy. Real lean and mean.
That's what you want. That's good.
Yeah.
What's that?
Zach puts in work.
Yeah. Work this far.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. For me, I just cross train. I do a little bit of everything. I don't run a whole lot. Like for cardio, my exercise of choice is hitting the heavy bag. I weight lift, push-ups, a lot of bar workout, that type of stuff. Kind of calm down with trying to lift heavy, so I concentrate more on just doing sets. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape.
That's good.
Squats.
I eat some McDonald's and some Krispy Kreme donuts, and then I go race.
Right.
Then you crash in diarrhea.
No, I mean I do a whole lot of, not a whole lot, but a reasonable amount of practice, intro to speed racing and stuff, and occasional track days at ABS, and just try to work on my leg endurance and my speed carrying through turns and stuff. I should work out more, and Zach and I might start lifting or something so I can look as good as he does. And we'll see. Ricardo,
John, what's
I saw
happening,
you,
brother? John Fernandez came in.
Yes, let's go. TEF and AMP. So there's also Electrify Expo. And then there's the Eastgate Con, and then there's also a bunch of off-road races throughout the year. Stuff on the East and West Coast. So I know there's the Shredfest, Will Life Rally. There's what's the other one? Not Shredfest, but Seek and Shred. There's a few different ones, mostly on the coast, it seems, to race throughout the year. There's also, I know someone mentioned a little bit ago, February 22nd is the Toronto Mini Games.
Right.
Unfortunately, we're going to be busy at a friend's wedding that day, so sorry we cannot make it again 2 years in a row. Good luck to Nico when he goes, because he'll probably win again. Something of that nature.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Michigan, no thanks.
Yeah, dude.
-1,
That's
-8.
crazy, man.
Don't be so negative.
Yeah, that's tough riding weather like that, dude. It's no joke.
Yeah, let it ride. So let it ride, I think, is happening on the same day as Eastgate Con.
Yeah, staying in
Northwest
shape
Electric
definitely
Fest.
helps, man. It really makes things easy. I know for me, and this is just if you're going to be riding anything, PEV, bike, e-skate, unicycle, you got to be in shape. Like when I got hit, and they even said if I wasn't in shape, I'd have been freaking dead, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you hit the ground, shit breaks and stuff. You got to keep yourself in shape. The better shape you are, you're just going to stay healthier while you ride.
I lift beers.
Yeah.
Lifting beers, not such a good thing. But if you could lift kegs, you might be actually working out, man.
Yeah.
Just
I
eat
can see
bananas. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it's getting
Let's
late.
go.
I think I'm gonna get off.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, I was
this
gonna
is it.
say
We're at the
let's
end now.
rip through these quick and we'll say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah, this is it right here. Oh, let me just put this up
Just
here.
about.
Daniel, stronger knees to avoid. Yep.
I mean, also knee braces go a long way, so
Yeah.
that's a good
Holy
idea.
knee braces for sure.
Zach and Aaron, are you guys going to West Electric Fest? North, yeah. Zach, most likely. I maybe 50-50. We'll see. I mean, that's still quite a ways away, right? So I'm going to try to make it out to a lot more events this year. A lot of the events that I wanted to go to were on the West Coast, and I was still on the East Coast. Now I'm out here, so I don't have an excuse.
Right.
I'm just scared to get beat by Zach. He's just so fast.
Mm-hmm. And here's our last one.
Yeah.
Devo. I still say
Let's
we
go.
need a gumball rally going from city to city.
Sure.
Gumball, cannonball, baby.
Well, see, the problem is you need a whole film crew to keep up with us, and no one can keep up with us because we're just so fast.
Exactly.
Is that James?
Yeah, he's keeps wanting to talk about things.
Yeah, so come in here and say goodbye, James. We're cutting this off here in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to narrow it down again.
Tell your
Zach,
dad to come in here.
Aaron, I want to thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys for being on so late. I know it's late. I apologize to keep you on here for so long. Awesome stream. You guys bought it home like you said you would.
Yeah.
And I wish you guys the best in upcoming events. And always a pleasure having you guys on again. I really do. I thank you guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Good stuff, man. Any last thoughts you want to say before we roll out?
I hate you, Turbo, since he just wrote he hates me. He's just mad because I didn't text him back. Yeah. You know, you want me to text you back? Where are we at here, Turbo?
He can
Turbo,
stew
welcome. What's up, man? I love Turbo.
Yeah, we love Turbo.
Turbo's
Turbo
awesome, man. Mm-hmm. Guys, so again, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us on this live stream. Remember, smash that like button.
Yeah.
Sub to everybody's channel, Aaron, Zach. Support them.
Yep. We're going to be putting some content out real soon. So I don't know. What's your channel, Zach?
My channel?
My connection's bad.
Oh boy. Zach.
Oh, my connection or something went bad. That was bad. There you go. So you got EUC Zach, Unbalanced Adventure for now until I come up with a better name. Someone please give me something better. And I mean, I already put out a little bit of content. Zach's going to be putting some stuff out. So we're going to try and get some more things that are interesting to watch on there.
Awesome.
Yeah, more to
come. There you have it.
100%.
Thank you, everybody. Remember, get on your wheel. Ride it like you hate it. You be safe out there. You ride it like you hate it. Zach, Aaron, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone that came in, thank you so much. Peace, love. Hello. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Thank you so much.